This game day update is sponsored by Mutual Federal, proudly serving Columbus with personal and business solutions at mutualfederal.com.
And I'm Cole Bartemus. We are making our way closer to noon when the number 1 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes will be kicking off with the number 17 ranked Illinois Fighting Illini from Champaign. It'll be one of the bigger games on what is a pretty solid college football slate for the day. Also going at noon, number 8 Alabama will be in Como taking on number 14 Missouri. And we also have a couple good games in the 3:30 slot. Kurt Cignetti thrived in his first big test of the season against Illinois earlier in the year, but the heat gets cranked up even more as his number 7 Indiana Hoosiers travel all the way out to Eugene to face number 3 Oregon. All the while, number 6 Oklahoma will be playing Texas in the Cotton Bowl. The spread is almost even in that game, so it should be very competitive. And a few good ones in the evening slot. Florida is at number 5 Texas A&M. Number 10 Georgia is at Auburn, and number 15 USC will be in Los Angeles taking on USC.
Do you smell it? The fine aroma of a soon-to-be Buckeye victory and Rothman searing his brat. Intoxicating. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Curtis & Associates. Remember, they don't get paid unless you get paid. And by Mountain Dew. Here for the good times. Do the do.
Live from the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino, here's Tim May, Dave Biddle, and Anthony Rothman.
Indeed we are. About a first down away from a nice roulette table that has my name written all over it. Closed at the moment, but I'll be opening it up soon during the commercial breaks and spinning that wheel. Anthony Rothman with my boys Dave Biddle and Tim May out here at Hollywood Casino Columbus, which will be an outstanding place to watch the Buckeyes at Illinois. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning, Anthony. How you doing?
Outstanding, Tim.
Good morning, Anthony. By the way, they spelled it Rathman on that roulette table over there.
Did they really? That's fine. My bro Tom Rathman from the old Niner days, Nebraska days.
Yeah.
So we'll be happy to welcome him in as well. All right, we got a game today at Illinois that seemed a lot bigger on paper. You sound a lot taller on radio. Sounded a lot bigger on paper before the season started. How do you boys feel about this one today? And by the way, doesn't this feels like it came earlier in the schedule than all my Illinois thoughts of the past. It always felt like it was deep into the season.
And the wind was blowing and the rain was coming down.
Yeah, entering the year, it was like, you looked at Texas, you definitely looked at Illinois, you looked at Penn State and Michigan, and now it feels like it's flying under the radar a little bit because of Indiana beating them by 53 points. And I don't want to say that was an aberration. Indiana's a better team. You don't beat a team by 53 unless you're a better tean. But that game did spiral out of control. And I think Illinois is a good team. And we've seen Illinois over the years give Ohio State trouble. And it's going to be a sold-out atmosphere. Now, I think for Ohio State, it's good. It's a noon game, 11 a.m. Local time. But, this could be a tough game. I ended up picking Ohio State to cover. We'll get to our predictions, I know, much later in the show.
Well, we got yours now.
It wouldn't. I didn't give you my exact score, though. But, gentlemen, it would not shock me if this ends up being a close game. I expect it to be close in the first half and Ohio State to then overwhelm them to some degree in the second half. But Brett Bielema will pull out all the stops, as we've seen when he was at Wisconsin. He'll do fake punts deep in his own end zone against Ohio, or not in his end zone, deep in his own end against Ohio State. He will pull out all the stops today.
Yeah, I mean, it's the analogy I've used is it's kind of like I thought this was going to be a pothole game for Ohio State, possible pothole game. And I think that pothole's been kind of filled in, but it's like there's still a little bump there, as you work out the kinks of it. But you're right. And here's the thing you got to remember, man. All these teams are coming in throwing their best shot against Ohio State, which is why it's no surprise that some of these games are close in the beginning, and then Ohio State eventually pulls away. It's kind of like a boxing match where you got to take the challenger's best shot, weather it, and then move on and throw some uppercuts. The uppercuts being, Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate. Perhaps Ohio State finally gets a big-time breakaway touchdown run from one of its running backs, which I think could possibly happen today. But, boy, Illinois is so vulnerable, I think, to the forward pass. You got to think Ohio State has to come out slinging it maybe 2 out of 3 times, as this game in the early going. But we'll see how it goes. There's not going to be any wind over there of circumstance, which is one of a rare occurrence. I'll throw a stat out there later about that, which my buddy Matt Guttridge provided to me. But, what looked like a formidable test now looks like just a test on the road.
You just read my mind. I was going to say that is this going to be the rare trip to the wind tunnel, as I call it, where it's not going to be windy?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to believe it when I see it. They said it, as Tim May said, they said that it's not going to be windy today. It's like every time that I have been there, it's been extremely windy.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'll believe it when I see it, but it's usually a tough place to throw the ball. Hopefully that won't be the case today for Julian Sand, the most accurate quarterback in the country.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that's going to impact. The weather's going to be impacting this game at all. I feel it's going to be beautiful, and as long as you led me right into it, the kickoff forecast is brought to you by Sunbelt Rentals. See why the Columbus Builders building Columbus Lean on Green. Expecting 68 degrees at kickoff, sunny. Winds in the single digits, so light winds about 8 miles an hour at Memorial Stadium. All right, something we touched on here real quickly was the fact that the challengers have come out right away and done something. The one thing they haven't done is get into the end zone. That's what they don't do early against Ohio State. They get close.
Early.
And Minnesota kind of, diced them up early. We saw that with Washington, too. And this red zone defense has been the best in the country, and the only way it seems to get the ball in the end zone against Ohio State, we've only seen it once, was by a home run by the Bobcats. And I feel like if there's one thing that Illinois does possess, they possess the quarterback that can do it. I don't know if they possess all the receivers. Hank Beatty is their one guy. He's kind of like doubling the catches of anybody else on the team. They have no running game to lean on. He's been sacked 19 times, a lot of those against Indiana, in a game that snowballed for sure, and a game that developed the script where he had to throw the ball. But that was the one thing that came into the game or into the season this year was that Luke Altmaier, a 3-year starter, 5th-year guy, actually, if you look at his numbers, we played the blind taste test on my show yesterday. If I told you there was a quarterback in this nation that has thrown for almost 1,600 yards with 12 touchdowns and no picks, and he's top 10 in the nation, but he's nowhere near a Heisman conversation, who is he? And nobody could get it. And it's Luke Altmaier, of all people.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting if Ohio State can force that first interception today. And it's interesting. You look at what Matt Patricia's done early in games. You mentioned, like, Minnesota last week's a great example. He came out there doing things that he did not intend to do the rest of the game. Very vanilla to open the game until they got to the red zone. Then he was like, we're going to make you kick the field goal. And then they were doing much different schemes and formations and everything for the remainder of that game. So I wonder if he's going to do that today, or if he's just going to come out and try to take it to Illinois, or if he's going to do the kind of play possum and then do a little rope-a-dope and then come and
he's got
do what he wants to do.
Yeah, he's got a lot of tools in his toolbox, and I reference this or refer to it as they take the measure of the other team on that first possession and then adjust accordingly, because everybody's different. Everybody's going to try to attack you differently. We saw Washington hit some seam routes early in that game, and Ohio State just tightened that up. It reminds me of that. I've told you before. It reminds me of that little thing you could get when you were a kid, where you stick your fingers in the little basket weave looking thing, and then it tightens on your fingers as you try to pull them out. That's what this defense plays like. They kind of lure you in and then don't let you go any farther. So I'm curious today if Altmaier, you've got to. I'm having three thoughts at once, only because I know this. Against really good teams, you've got to not just be willing to throw the ball. You've got to throw the ball against Ohio State. You've got to throw the ball against Georgia, Alabama, Texas, and stuff, because that's where the fewer defenders are. And so I think Illinois is equipped to do that. We'll see if, in fact, they do. But the pass rush today is going to be paramount for both teams, but especially for Ohio State to really put Illinois where we want to put them, which is in the corner. Don't come out.
Yeah, listen, they're going to have to stay in the game. I mean, that's their strength. They got to lean on it if they can, but you're right, protection's a big deal. Ohio State has been the best third down defense in the country, maybe the best unit overall in the country. Red zone's been outstanding, as we mentioned. But one thing that these teams can't do when they're severe underdogs is miss. And Drake Lindsey missed on that slant early that would have scored the touchdown. And if you miss, you're going to pay for it. You just can't keep up with Ohio State. But this game does feel like a swing with everything you have, Illinois, because you don't have much left on your schedule, and you can't be embarrassed. Even if you lose the game, you're supposed to lose the game. But you can't get embarrassed. And they're at home with an opportunity here against the number one team in the nation, so I expect them. They've kind of saved a little face over the last couple weeks. Beat USC. I know you're not throwing a parade for that. Beat Purdue on the road. You're not throwing a parade for that. They didn't score their first touchdown at Purdue till the second quarter. So I'm not going to lean in that all of a sudden this is a trap game. But they do possess a lot of guys returning. There's some pride on that team. It showed itself after the Indiana game. And there were so many injuries in their secondary against Indiana, outside of Xavier Scott, who's not coming back, so they're missing their best guy. But they probably feel like they got a little bit of the troops back, Dave, to kind of at least look a little better than they did that night in Bloomington.
And it does feel a little bit like a trap game because of that 53-point loss to Indiana.
Yeah.
And, Ohio State's coaches know that Illinois is good. I know Ohio State's players know it too, but it's just human nature. Some of these kids are 18, 19 years old. They see, oh, come on, how good could they really be? Indiana beat them by 53. Yeah, Indiana's really good. Ohio State knows that. It could be a little bit of a trap game. Maybe that's just because I've seen Illinois give Ohio State fits so many times over the years.
Yeah, they've given them a lot of points over the last couple of weeks, and I'm just looking at that. Ohio State should have success offensively against them in a nutshell.
We have brushed the surface. We'll head to Champaign here in moments and talk to the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels. We're back at Hollywood Casino Columbus. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Tailgate Show. Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places right here on the Fan.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan. Do it.
Our clients deserve for us to care, and they deserve to feel serviced. They have questions, and they deserve answers. We're counselors first because I'm not selling them anything. I'm trying to teach clients how to protect themselves. At Curtis & Associates, we're personal injury attorneys. We've helped and continue to help hundreds and hundreds of clients every year. That's important to us. If you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault, call now. 614-GOT-HURT. That's 614-GOT-HURT. Curtis & Associates. Attorneys who care.
Hey, you mind keeping it down up there, please?
KeyBank will meet you in that I need new neighbors moment.
Rick, it's your mortgage loan officer, Beth. I was in the neighborhood and wanted to let you know your home loan application's been approved.
Beth, you're always there for me, and not a moment too soon.
Are your neighbors bowling with grand pianos again?
And apparently raising livestock?
Ooh.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 399797.
All the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Hi, this is Max with Buckeye Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Winter will be here before you know it, and that means it's time to get your heating and plumbing systems maintained. Our True Comfort membership is designed to keep things in tip-top shape. Thank you for letting us keep your home comfortable and plumbing worry-free. And when you need us,
call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Hey, it's Anthony. Wouldn't you want to drive into the new season with a brand new Honda from Germain Honda of Dublin? You can lease the 25 Honda Accord LX for just $199 a month or finance at 3.99% APR. Or the 26 Honda CR-V LX all-wheel drive, leasing from only $319 a month or finance from 4.99% APR. These fall deals are fantastic. Visit Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, or you can shop online anytime at GermainHondaofDublin.com.
When you're building a single-family house, multi-unit house, townhouse, penthouse, row house, or tiny house, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. The Columbus builders who are building Columbus do. They know they can rent the right equipment at the right price right now, thanks to the largest rental fleet and most rental locations in Columbus. All powered by people for equipment know-how, support, transport, and training. So no matter what you've got going in or going up, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com.
Buckeye fans, introducing Behind the O, the brand new app packed with original athlete and fan-driven Ohio State sports content. It's free to download in the App Store on iOS and Android, and every time you open it, you're helping generate NIL dollars for your favorite Buckeye athletes with zero cost to you. Get exclusive access to fresh behind-the-scenes videos, training routines, athlete lifestyles, and more from every Ohio State sport. Don't wait. Download Behind the O now and get closer to your Buckeyes than ever before.
Behind the O, free for fans Men's NIL for athletes.
Football season's heating up, and so are the deals at Germain Toyota. Right now, drive home a rugged 2025 Toyota Tacoma with 2.99% APR for up to 48 months, or go big with the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra, also 2.99 APR for up to 72 months. Built tough, built smart, built for whatever your game day brings. Find your next Toyota at Germain Toyota at the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or start your next adventure online at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota of Columbus. See dealer for details.
Can't get enough of your favorite fan content? Good news. We're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Right Way Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
That was one hell of a game, huh?
Start ringing that victory bell. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Curtis & Associates and Mountain Dew.
Your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan. It's time for the Big Daddy Report with the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels.
Sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Now together to serve you better. A proud sponsor of Ohio State athletics.
All right, let's take that trip to Champaign and talk to the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels, who's with us now. Good morning, my man.
Good morning. How are you, Anthony?
Doing well, thank you, sir. It's been a minute, hasn't it? I guess COVID was canceled with Illinois, and these games, in my mind, have always seemed to be in November. So my brain's a little scrambled on the last trip to Champaign and the last time they even played the Illini. Refresh me.
Last trip to Champaign was 2015. Wow. The last game against Illinois was 2017. So it has been a little while.
Yeah, it has. And this,
but it's just like we left it.
They haven't built up on it. It's not like turned into a bustling metropolis there. No, it's. No. And we're expecting good weather, and you know all the fun cliches about Illinois. And maybe some of them are true. That's what makes them cliches, that it can be windy there because it's in a full exposure type of place. But we're expecting a pretty nice day for football today. And so give me your take on what you thought of this game when you saw it on the schedule before the season and how you think about it now.
Well, I think everybody still looks at it the same way, as this is a potential challenge, being on the road against a program that's won 15 games now in the last 2 years, and a program that really has taken the steps that they had hoped they would take when they hired Brett Bielema, becoming a more physical football team, becoming, even though their quarterback and their offense has played at a high level, somewhat of a defensive-oriented program. Now, their stats don't probably indicate how strong they want to play defensively, but this was one going on the road, knowing it was only going to be the second road game of the year. Then I think everybody kind of looked at this as one of the first Big Ten challenges, then throwing Penn State coming to Columbus. And, and as Ryan Day talked about, you throw the Indiana game out when they just got completely taken apart by the Hoosiers. Now, they were without, if the count is correct, 7 players from their defensive secondary by injury or ejection for targeting and things like that. So they weren't quite at full capacity, but they've rebounded nicely in the last 2 weeks. So that kind of still puts this game in a position of being one that potentially is dangerous.
Paul, Luke Altmaier has always been a really good quarterback, at least a good quarterback. He's taken it to another level this year as a fifth-year senior. What are you seeing out of young Mr. Altmaier?
Well, Dave, he's a guy that can hurt you both throwing the football, running the football, and this year catching the football. He's got a touchdown catch. So he's a guy that, even though he's a transfer from Ole Miss, it's his third year as a starter here at Illinois. So in this day and age of quarterbacks moving addresses, he's been here. He stayed consistent. The other key thing in the USC game was a great example. He leads the nation with 6 game-winning drives in the last minute or less or overtime playing for this football team. So he's an experienced guy. He takes advantage of the playmakers he has around him, whether it's, the 2 running backs, and one of whom coming off a career day last week, wide receivers that are very, very serviceable, especially Hank Beatty, and an offensive line that at the beginning of the year you thought was going to be a strong point. It maybe hasn't performed as well as they would like, but he's a guy that really brings to Illinois something that a lot of schools don't have, and that is a multi-year starting quarterback who's played well at times.
Hey, Paul, this is Tim May. I'm just I'm throwing a stat out at you that a friend of mine, Matt Guttridge, put together. Since 1964, Ohio State has played in Memorial Stadium there 28 times. Only 3 of those games had winds of 8 miles per hour or less. Today looks like the same, but in those 3 games, Ohio State's 3-0. What's your call on the weather there? Is the wind picking up? We're understanding it's going to be quite the mild day, which is quite unusual.
Yes, and there is a little bit of wind we can see, Tim, moving from left to right here. But as Anthony talked about, when you're here in November, that's usually more of a factor. Right. And I think what that also speaks to is the fact that Ohio State's been able to have that kind of success because of the weather, but because of their personnel running the football well. And, it wouldn't be surprising if they really major in trying to get the run game going, also to manipulate the clock, keep the ball away from Luke Altmaier as much as possible. But that's what I think about when you say that, Tim, that they've just been able to major in running the football, keep it on the ground, and avoid turnovers.
Yeah, listen, the story of this season so far has been the reigning champs, Ohio State. A lot of people believe, Paul, they're heads above the rest of the field right now. They've only allowed 25 total points this season. No touchdowns in the first half of any game. Only OU got that home run ball coming on a second half. So your anticipation of keeping Illinois down today and making them one-dimensional is what? You think that's – because I heard you say, and you're right, try to get that run game going to kind of keep Ohio State's offense off the field. But their strength is the pass, Illinois, and I'm curious to think if you believe they'll score today and how many.
Yes, I do believe they'll score, given what they've been able to do. How many, I don't know, Anthony. But in most cases, you hear coaches, and John Cooper was one of the best about it, saying, make them play left-handed, take one thing away and force them to do the other. And while they've been successful throwing the football, 2 things that aren't desirable happen when you throw the football. So if they can force them to do that, get balls in the air that Ohio State can make plays on, because really for the most part this defensive secondary has played well covering, but they haven't really had that many opportunities to try and defend long passes. But if they can do that and force them into having to, make rush decisions, especially the way this defensive line has been able to get pressure on the quarterback, that's something that certainly can play into their hands. This will be an offense you would think. Maybe we thought it was going to be Washington and it wasn't. Maybe we thought it would be Texas and it wasn't. But this potentially is an offense that could skew a few of those stats. But I don't know if it's an offense that can do enough with the way Ohio State's playing to be able to, and this is just guessing, that to be able to give Ohio State enough trouble where the game's in doubt.
Hey, Paul, they're definitely going to need all 3 running backs, as you know, with Bo Jackson and James Peoples and C.J. Donaldson. But with Bo taking over as the starter, he's been impressive the entire year. What do you expect from him moving forward? It feels like he might be about to see his numbers skyrocket.
Dave, there just seems to be something different when he's out there and when he's running the football. And Ryan Day still keeps talking about Isaiah West as well, trying to get him out there. But a lot of that seems to be tailored, mirroring what happened last year with the 2 running backs that logged most of the work, the anticipation of it being a long season, spreading out the workload and the wear and tear to keep guys fresh, especially they can be fresh late in the game. But you would anticipate we'll see Bo Jackson open it up. C.J. Donaldson has carved out a nice role in the red zone with what he's been able to do, not only just running, but with the touchdown catch that he had at Washington. And there doesn't seem to be any faith lost in James Peoples. He'll still get his opportunities. But it certainly, Dave, no question, it seems to be the way Ryan Day talks about it. It's a running back group by committee that they want to continue to use by committee.
Paul, isn't it cool the succession of dual threats at wide receiver that Ohio State has put on the field in the last decade? And this is definitely Carnell Tate holding his hand up last week and saying, hey, I'm still here. We already knew he was still here, but the way he just kind of, in his own way, kind of took over that game when they decided to take Jeremiah Smith out of the game. I'm talking about the defense, or tried to. But it's kind of a cool era in all kinds of ways in that respect, isn't it?
It certainly is, and when you think about all of the different receivers, I mean, think back to that Rose Bowl when you weren't going to have Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson, and you saw the explosion of the other wide receivers and how well they played. And, it's a credit to Brian Hartline to keep recruiting guys, knowing that there's such talent here, and they may have to wait their chance for a year or two. But, the other cool part, Tim, could be, when does all of a sudden Brandon Inniss get a breakout?
Right.
Because of the attention that Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate are having. And then when does it play back into what we saw earlier the year with the tight ends? Max Clare had a career day against Illinois when he was at Purdue last year. Could this be another replica of that? So the cool part is how many people have been performing at a high level and how many still could.
You got it, my man. Should be some plays to be made today, hopefully, for Ohio State's offense. Thanks, Paul. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
You're welcome, fellas.
Paul Keel segment sponsored by the Waterworks Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, now together to serve you better. All right, who will shine in Champaign for Ohio State? We'll get to that. We're live at Hollywood Casino Columbus, the place to watch the Buckeyes. It's the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Tailgate Show right here on The Fan.
1, 2, 3. Here at The Fan, it's always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan.
This time of year, it's all or nothing, and Toyota's got all you need during Toyota Truck Month. Now through November 3rd, get 2.99 APR financing on a rugged new 25 Tacoma. Excludes TRD Pro and Trail Hunter. Or lease a well-equipped 25 Tacoma SR5 for $269 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Buckeyes, the 2025 football season is here, and that means three things: football, game day, and smooth Jameson whiskey. Whether you're catching the game at home, at your neighborhood bar, or soaking up the team spirit at a tailgate, Jameson Ginger and Lime at Ohio State Athletics are a winning combo. So cheers to making game days even better with the official whiskey of the fans. Jameson, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Taste responsibly.
Jameson Irish Whiskey, product of Ireland. 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2025, imported by John Jameson Import Company, New York, New York.
The Ohio State University Army ROTC isn't just a curriculum. It's more than just a path to a degree. For more than 150 years, we have been forging tomorrow's leaders. Here you will find your purpose, your mission, your ROTC family. At Ohio State, you're not just joining Army ROTC, you're stepping into a history of excellence that spans generations. Learn more at arotc.osu.edu. Buckeyes lead the way.
Hey Columbus, it's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. Football runs deep in my family. My dad played here, and now my brother and I are proud to carry on that tradition. At Monogram Homes, family matters too. They treat every homeowner like one of their own, building with care, precision, and pride. Monogram doesn't just build houses, they build homes, crafted just for you. So whether you're starting your first home or designing your dream space, Monogram Homes has got your back every step of the way. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
Millions of fans agree. This Christmas tradition rocks. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, presenting The Ghosts of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. December 23rd, 2 shows, Nationwide Arena. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Trans-Siberian Orchestra. A portion of the proceeds benefits the James and Heather Pick Music Program.
Taking out the trash.
Hey Columbus, this is Zach Bourne.
And Jacoby Bourne.
When it comes to waste service, you want a team that knows how to deliver under pressure, just like Saturdays in the fall.
At Bourne Brothers Waste Services, our team is built on toughness, teamwork, and consistent execution.
We're the most reliable and customer service-focused waste company in Central Ohio.
Whether it is recycling, trash, construction waste, roll-off containers, front loads, or compactors, we have it handled.
Call now or visit BourneBrothers.com and let us tackle your waste needs.
Taking out the trash.
Hear those leaves crunching under your feet? Feel that cool nighttime air? It's definitely fall in Ohio. Fall is the perfect time to have the Waterworks Heating and Cooling inspect and tune up your furnace before the cold winter months hit. Just $89 to inspect and protect your family against those wintertime furnace breakdowns. Call 614-232-2222 or visit thewaterworks.com today to schedule your $89 fall furnace inspection and tune-up. Winter is just days away.
Game day glory starts here, Columbus. The 2025 Polestar 3 long-range dual motor is built to win, delivering Scandinavian luxury, cutting-edge design, and up to 350 miles of range. Right now, lease yours for $699 a month for 36 months with zero due at signing. Visit Polestar Columbus on the Buyers Imports campus by the airport, the only place in Ohio where you can see, feel, and drive the difference.
Monthly lease payment of $699 per month for 36 months. Offer expires November 2nd, 2025. See dealer for details or visit PolestarOffers.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. This is the Fans Game Day Scoreboard.
This game day update is sponsored by Mutual Federal, proudly serving Columbus with personal and business solutions at mutualfederal.com.
And I'm Cole Bartimas. We are making our way closer to noon when the number 1 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes will be kicking off with the number 17 ranked Illinois Fighting Illini from Champaign. It'll be one of the bigger games on what is a pretty solid college football slate for the day. Also going at noon, number 8 Alabama will be in Como taking on number 14 Missouri. And we also have a couple good games in the 3:30 slot. Kurt Cignetti thrived in his first big test of the season against Illinois earlier in the year, but the heat gets cranked up even more as his number 7 Indiana Hoosiers travel all the way out to Eugene to face number 3 Oregon. All the while, number 6 Oklahoma will be playing Texas in the Cotton Bowl. The spread is almost even in that game, so it should be very competitive. And a few good ones in the evening slot. Florida is at number 5 Texas A&M. Number 10 Georgia is at Auburn, and number 15 USC will be in Los Angeles taking on USC.
Bring the energy. It's game day, Buckeye fans. You're listening to the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Curtis & Associates and Mountain Dew.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan. He's so money.
Sponsored by Kemba Financial Credit Union.
All right, guys, back at it. Hollywood Casino Columbus. This is the place to watch the game. We got a great day for you planned here. Come on out. We'll have dining certificates. We'll have prizes, all sorts of good stuff. Score predictions and prizes to give out. Great day on the Fan here. Of course, after us, we'll hand it over to the Ohio State Sports Network and the guys for the pregame coverage. And then just keep it locked here all day. If you're around, you're on the radio, you're driving around town. We got the kickoff, obviously, and that extended network postgame with Brandon Beam and Justin Zwick right around 4:30 after the game. 5:30 to 7:30, Fan game night with Eric Reeser and Tito. And then right to the Jackets at the Wild. They'll face off at 8 p.m. All right.
What a day.
Live and local, baby.
Live and local. All right, let's talk about this team and who's going to shine today. This is one of those deals with Ohio State where we're kind of waiting for these first halves to get going a little sooner. Is that game plan related, Dave and Tim, or is that more of just kind of feeling the game out like Tim said earlier?
I think it's a little bit of both. I'm sure the plan is not to go in there and be like, okay, let's make it a tight game in the first half. It just kind of played out that way. And this defense has been so good, the best defense in the country, in my opinion, that's made Ryan Day, and I would say rightfully so, more conservative than he would normally be offensively. And then they opened it up last week against Minnesota. So it's going to be interesting. This is a good Illinois team, but they are down their best defensive back, and Xavier Scott. So,
right.
And Julian Sayin, as I said, the most accurate quarterback in the country, and you could say by a considerable margin. So, if you're Ohio State, I think you want to jump on them and try and take the crowd out of it. It's going to be a sold-out crowd there. Not that it's typically a raucous environment there, but I bet it'll be a tough environment today.
There are always a ton of Ohio State fans at Illinois. It's an easy game to get to. Usually in the past it was an easy ticket. I'm not sure about the ticket now, but see, I look back at the Washington game at Washington. Ohio State went right down the field, clickety-clack, right down the track, and then got stuffed at the 1 foot line. But with C.J. Donaldson, so they didn't start cold. They just didn't finish. And then the next possession, they get a 3-and-out with Washington, which had only punted twice in the season. It punted twice in the first quarter in that game, but they get a 3-and-out. And Brandon Ennis has a great return, but fumbles at the end of it. So I don't call that a bad start or you went into the game cold. You just didn't finish, and then you give the ball away. Ohio State only had 6 possessions that entire game, so they ended up being pretty efficient with their possessions. But the main thing is I think Ryan Day even said it this week, the main thing is you got to finish those drives. And I always remind people of this. You're taking that team's best shot, man, in the first quarter, no matter who you're playing, like Ohio University, first half, Ohio University, Washington, right? You're taking their best shot. You take their best shot, and then you counterpunch. And this team has been really good at counterpunching. It's been extremely good on both sides of the ball of adjusting to whatever it is the other team is doing. I thought a brilliant play last week was Jeremiah Smith. He talked about when he took the fake end around and 5 defenders came after him, and he's smiling at them because Carnell Tate puts a little bit of a move on the corner and just goes right by him for a 44-yard touchdown, pitch and catch from the most accurate deep thrower in the country now also in Julian Sayin. So this team can adjust in so many ways, but you've got to know going in you're going to take that team's best shot. That will definitely be the case for Illinois because Illinois had big plans going into this year. Illinois finished ahead of Ohio State in the Big Ten standings last year. They had big plans going into this year, and boom, they got a black eye at Indiana, so now this is their shot.
It is, and it's the one that could save their season.
Right.
They somehow could pull it off, no doubt about it. Then they'd be back into the talk, and they'd be able to wipe away that Indiana game with pretty good reasons as far as that game snowballing on them. They made a lot of mistakes, but and Indiana's pretty good last time we checked. So it wasn't like walking in there and saying that was going to be a gimme. The interesting thing about Ohio State now, and I do think Illinois is going to play more of to keep the game in front of them a little bit because that's what coaches should do.
Got to.
How aggressive can you be defensively if you're Illinois against Ohio State? You can't get because you don't want to get into a game script where you're down 3 touchdowns. So.
I talked about this on my podcast and maybe on a couple of shows too. The interesting thing about Minnesota, I posed this question to somebody because Minnesota came in and played pretty much their defense, which is man up a lot, which they've gone to, and occasionally throw an umbrella out there, but mainly come after you, and they weren't able to do it. But do you throw away your plan for the year just to play one team? And I think Minnesota opted not to. I'm talking about defensive, the way they want to play, and it bit them. But Illinois considers itself a contender, so that's. You do what you got to do to win the game, right?
Yeah, well,
it's an interesting conundrum for coaches.
It is, and I think P.J. Fleck probably was more of a realist in that game. I mean,
right.
He did go for it on 4th and 1 on his own 41, down 14-3.
Right.
Now, you're not out of the game at 14-3, and it is only 4th and 1, but you are on your own 41 on the road at Ohio State, and he goes and doesn't get it because somehow Drake Lindsey thought he could fool Lorenzo Styles on an RPO. He's not a dual threat guy.
No.
So if you're going to go, and I don't mind them being aggressive, Minnesota, because I think they probably felt like if we punted here down 14-3, it's going to be 21-3 in a minute. At least that's what they're thinking.
Well, they know Ohio State. Yeah, they know Ohio State. They know Ohio State has already picked the lock on their defense, too.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to throw punches. You got to counterpunch.
And you look at this Illinois team. A, they're better than Minnesota. B, they're playing at home. And C, we've seen this before with Bielema when he plays Ohio State, and he had some good teams. These are Wisconsin teams that were like unranked.
Yeah,
he would have like Wisconsin teams that were ranked even higher than 17th. He would still pull out all the stops. Remember the time it was at Ohio State and he tried to punt. They were on like their own 18-yard line and he tried to fake punt.
Yeah.
It did not work. But then he's done some other things where he's pulled out all the stops and it did work. The season that didn't count, 2010, it should count by the way. They lost one game that year at Wisconsin, Brett Bielema.
Yeah.
And so I expect him to take chances defensively, mix things up Illinois, certainly take chances offensively. Chances on special teams, the Buckeyes need to be on high alert on special teams.
Well, Ohio State, it was weird because, listen, it was a great play, the throwback on the punt return, but as I'm watching live, I'm like, why burn that against Minnesota?
Right.
And then Ryan Day said this week, well, you want to put that on tape just so they think it might be coming. I always looked at it differently, like, I want nobody to think I'd ever want to run that.
Right.
So
and then
now
do it against Michigan or something like that. Maybe he's thinking there's no way we're doing that against Michigan.
Maybe a fake throwback punt return.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's almost the only other thing you can do.
Yeah. People have been asking me, why is Brandon Ennis the punt returner? Now we know. And just in case they want to throw the ball, that young man can put it right on the money.
I think Brandon Ennis could be a dynamic punt return, and it's too bad he had that fumble at the end of the one against Washington.
Yeah, that was a good
because they were about to break that game open early.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other thing Ohio State has been doing to teams this year, and I thought they did it a lot against Minnesota, was they torched the Gophers on first down play action.
Oh, yeah.
When you expect Ohio State to run the ball and they're running play action on first down, I think most every big play I saw against Minnesota was on first down play action. You just don't know what to do against Ohio State now.
And Julian does a good job with the fakes. A lot of quarterbacks are kind of like half in on the fake. Like I remember back in the day, like I'm a Bengals fan, unfortunately, but Boomer Esiason was great at the fake. He'd always be faking the cameraman out. He would always sell the fake. Julian Sayin's one of the better quarterbacks I've seen at Ohio State at selling the fake.
One of my favorite plays last week was when, and I never asked, I didn't get a chance to ask whether James Peoples went the wrong way or Julian went the wrong way, but on the when Julian stood there for Jace Peoples to come by, and he didn't. Julian just stood there for a second like, hey, what's up?
Where's my running back?
Yeah, where's the running back? And so, not everything is going smoothly at all times. But I think Julian saying I've said this before, I've had his high school coach on a couple of times on my podcast, and he just talked about Julian Saying's game savvy a lot, and his ability to run just when you don't think he would. I mean, we haven't really seen that from him yet, except from a desperation standpoint. But they still got that in their bag if they want to go to it, because he can run better than you think.
And he can take a hit, which I like.
Yeah.
He took a no, you don't want him taking too many hits, but he bounces up. For not a big quarterback, he's not that small. He's
stood there and threw
he a little bit reminds me of Joe Germain. He'll stand right in there and just take a shot right to the and like nothing happened.
Right.
Reminds me a lot of Joe Germain.
The pass to Max Clare over the middle was a great example of that last week, and he stood in there.
Yeah.
Max Clare, you get so much respect from everybody on your team when you do that too. It's like he's really become the guy now.
Yeah, 28-3, I don't necessarily need.
No.
If I'm the quarterback, I'm like, you know what, I don't know if this one's worth it. Okay, so he hung in there. It was great. I agree with you guys. It shows a lot. The one that I really don't need is when he does break containing, he's on the sideline. I don't need him delivering that hit.
No, get out of bounds.
Just tiptoe out.
And I've been screaming from the mountaintops. You got to have at least somewhat of a threat to run at quarterback.
Yeah. Yes.
But I agree with that 100%. You do not need Julian Saying taking college trying to lay out like a linebacker, for example. Get out of bounds.
College football, you got to have that threat of the running quarterback, no matter if it's real.
Well, the threat today will be the threat it always is, and probably that is Jeremiah Smith, because he has scored in every game since the Texas game, and he scored twice against Minnesota, and now he's in that 7, 8, 9 catch range again. You expect him to have that kind of a day, certainly against Illinois. He's So Money, sponsored by Kemba Financial Credit Union. When we come back, it's back to Champaign time with our guy Jim Lachey. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Tailgate Show. Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places right here on The Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Tailgates are better when your ride's rocking. Columbus Car Audio and Accessories upgrades your sound, tints your ride, and adds the extras to make your ride the ultimate game day machine.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing mountain dew. So give me my good days, give me a dew.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Bobcat Enterprises says thank you for your support as they celebrate 50 years of serving the construction industry. Established in 1975 in Cincinnati, Bobcat Enterprises has expanded to 9 stores to meet you where you are in Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. Find equipment for any construction project, including compact track loaders and excavators. Plus, Bobcat Enterprises rents compact equipment and attachments. Find current specials and locations at bobcatent.com or follow Bobcat Enterprises Inc. on Facebook. Bobcat Enterprises, 50 years working for you.
At Kemba Financial Credit Union, we care about you. Consumers like you say they don't want monthly fees for checking, and we listen. Introducing hassle-free checking with no monthly service fee. Use it as an easy place to deposit and transfer your money, along with your everyday banking needs. Plus, Kemba's expansive digital banking services make it easy for you to bank how you want. At Kemba, we're always thinking of ways to put you and your finances first. Visit Kemba.org. Federally insured by NCUA. Restrictions apply.
Score big with Columbus Car Audio and Accessories. Sound, style, and upgrades for every ride. Visit us today and kick off this season the right way. Columbus Car Audio and Accessories. Drive it, show it, rock it. Columbus, the Blue Jackets schedule is out. And you can lock in your seats with ticket plans starting at just 11 games. Don't miss a moment of the action. Visit BlueJackets.com.
Drive your dream car home today, no matter your credit history. Hey, it's Phil here at Capital Ford of Columbus and Whitehall. We proudly accept all credit types, good, bad, or none. Get pre-approved in minutes and hit the road with confidence. Get your new ride today. Call 614-861-7150 or shop our huge selection online at CapitalFloridaColumbus.com. Your perfect ride is credit ready and waiting at Capital Florida Columbus.
Columbus, the Blue Jackets schedule is out. And you can lock in your seats with ticket plans starting at just 11 games. Don't miss a moment of the action. Visit BlueJackets.com.
Other stations in town have started using AI voices. It's because they're cheap and they think you're stupid. Well, we may think you're stupid, but we don't think you're cheap, damn it. We're live and local with real people. The Fan, Ohio's real human destination. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Get ready for a beautiful weekend as we see plenty of sunshine here across the area. High temperatures in the low 70s here this afternoon with just a few scattered clouds today. We'll see winds out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, mostly clear and cooling down to the mid-40s. For tomorrow and your Sunday, we're tracking more sunshine and a few scattered clouds and highs around 72 degrees. And we'll see the sunshine continue here for Monday and Tuesday with highs in the mid-70s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Don't it feel good when your crowd behind you? You know what I'm saying?
You're listening to the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Curtis & Associates and Mountain Dew.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. It's time to check in with Buckeye color analyst and president of the Large Hand Society, Jim Lachey.
Sponsored by Ohio State Army ROTC. Leadership starts here. Visit arotc.osu.edu.
We call those the man hands, and he's got them. Your number one Buckeyes hitting the road this week. It's a road trip. Their fans can follow them if they'd like to Memorial Stadium. And this game, of course, will be right here on The Fan, and our man in the booth will be the one and only Jim Lachey. Good morning, Jim. How you feeling?
Good morning, Anthony. I am feeling great. It's game day, and it's a beautiful day here in Champaign. Starting to be one.
Looking forward to that, and looking forward to seeing this quarterback continue to evolve. Big Ten Freshman of the Week, Julian Sayin, 326 and 3 scores over Minnesota on Saturday night, and all he does is complete passes 80%, and his QBR is, I think, third best in the country, and he's got all these great stats. But even more so, and you and I have talked about this, he's ahead of where I think he would be, just from a poise standpoint. Maybe that Texas game did everything I thought it did for him, but tell me what you're observing in his game and what you expect moving forward.
Taking care of the football, that's huge. No interceptions. Of course, he's got 3 for the year, but, none last week against Minnesota. Finding the open receiver. Last game it was Carnell Tate a lot because of the double coverage that they provided for Jeremiah Smith. And, I think Jeremiah still had 7 catches in that game. But Carnell Tate was open. He had 3 catches, 40-plus yards in that game. And then I think, you saw Max Clara coming off his best game. And if you look at Max's career numbers, he had 6 catches for 113 yards last year versus Illinois. So he's fresh in their minds of how they got to stop him. Like, okay, we got Jeremiah, we got Carnell. We have Max, who had a big game against us last year when he was a Boilermaker. And then, obviously Brandon Ennis, waiting for his breakout type game. So a lot of talent receiver-wise, for Ohio State, guys that can go out there and make plays. And I think Julian's done a good job of finding that open receiver, usually on time. But, last week I thought the key play was when he took that shot, coming right down the middle of the field. He knew he was going to get hit, but yet he stepped into a beautiful throw that completed down the field to Max Clare. To me, as an old offensive lineman, that sells yourself to the rest of the team that you're in this. Like, hey, I can take these hits, I can go out there and make plays, and then bounce right up and ready to do it again. So I think he proved a toughness point to these guys that maybe they didn't see yet. Now they see that. They know that, he is all in. So it was a positive.
And then, what can you say about our defense? They gave up 3 points on the opening drive of the game. I think 66 yards, almost half their yards for the total game, came on that opening drive series. And then our defense found a way to shut them down the rest of the ball game, which is incredible, only giving up 5 points per game. So it's fun to watch, right? You got an offense that's putting points on the board. You got a defense that's been suffocating. And our special teams was able to step up and make a few plays. And they're going to need all 3 phases again today against the Illini.
Jim, looking at the right guard position for Ohio State, it's interesting. Tegra has started all of the games, but they initially were rotating Oni Onwa in there. And then this last game, it was Josh Padilla going in there early in the game, rotating in there. What are you seeing at right guard there for the Buckeyes?
Well, I think they're seeing Josh, every week in practice, really since training camp. They've been talking a lot about Josh Padilla and, how he's really come on and, he's going to be in that mix. And that hard work throughout practice has paid off. They're watching those films. They see it. They see how he does against, our defensive tackles inside and, giving him a chance, an opportunity to get some playing time because, once you get a little taste of it, then you want more of it and you get a little hungrier. And I think you'll see that out of Josh Padilla. That right guard position, you're right. Tegra's had a chance really for 2-3 years now to nail down that position. But for whatever reason, there's just been a little bit of inconsistency, maybe a lack of focus, where he'll go great for 4 or 5 plays, and then he'll have a play that you kind of scratch your head a little bit. So I think coaches see that. They tried Ethan Oniawa early at that position to see if he could take some reps from Tegra. And I think right now what they're seeing is maybe Josh, might be that guy. We saw, Carson Hintzman step in and play some guard last year before Seth McLaughlin got hurt and he had to move back over to center. So I think they're kind of seeing, hey, let's try to get our best 5 out there. And they're still working on that, which is good. You're in week 6, game 6 of the season, and you're still looking for your best combinations. And what it does is, no one's set. No one's position is set. That means every practice you got to go out there and you got to work extremely hard. Knowing that there's somebody breathing down your back for playing time, and that just kind of keeps everybody sharp and on point, knowing that, hey, I got to put out my best effort each and every time. So I'm hoping Tegra pulls through and ends up being the guy because he's got an all-American body. You know what I mean? He's long, he's strong, he's got, he's 320 plus. He's got all the things you're looking for in an offensive lineman, and he's just got to take that next step, and I think he's got the capability to do that. I think everybody's just hoping that it'll happen soon.
That's pretty funny because I had a flashback my 4th grade class in Demopolis, Alabama. There's a kid that sat next to me named Billy Flournoy. Great kid, but occasionally he would just wander off mentally. And the teacher once said to him, "Billy, are you looking off?" Because he was staring out the window when she was giving a lecture. And so everybody's got that kind of kid in their class one way or the other. I wanted to ask you this. Will Smith Jr. really made some strides in the last couple of weeks. I know you guys talked about him a little bit on the coaches show on Thursday. Yeah, that's right, Jim. But the bottom line is, with Edric Houston maybe questionable today, boy, that depth is really coming on in that defensive tackle room, right, with Tywone Malone starting and playing more, and that's been a pleasant surprise, I think, for this team.
It certainly has. That's kind of where you're looking because you lose guys like Tyleik Williams and Ty Hamilton last year that were dominant. Ty Hamilton, I don't think took a play off the whole year. We saw Tyleik Williams, kind of come in and out, and Caden McDonald got some of those reps last year. But, right now you're seeing Caden McDonald dominate, doing what he needs to do as a defensive tackle. We thought Edric was on that path, but you're right, a little bit nicked up. We'll find out his status here a little bit later as the day goes on. But, Tywone Malone ran with the opportunity. Basically when Edric had a couple penalties in that ball game, couple offsides, you saw Tywone Malone get the opportunities the next couple games. And he didn't want to give it up, man. He goes, I can do this. I can play. And then, Will Smith, coming in here and, a guy that, had to gain some weight, had some injuries early in his career, but now in his 3rd year here with Ohio State is starting to get a feel for it, starting to understand what he needs to do on a week-in and week-out basis. And then last week, put it on film, getting some penetration, standing up the center or the guard, whoever he's going against, getting some push inside. And that's all important for this defense because, you got 2 great linebackers, and if they don't get touched, if they run clean into the pocket or into the hole, they're going to be able to stuff a lot of running backs, and they've shown that Sonny and Arvell can do that. So, defensive tackles, they got the dirty work, man. They got to tie guys up. why they're getting penetration against that offensive front. So they got multiple jobs, but, those guys have been able to handle it pretty well. But really impressed with how those guys have responded this year, because we knew that was going to be, a situation. I mean, you look at it, you got Tyleek Williams starting for the Lions.
Yep.
Then you got Ty Hamilton starting for the Jaguars. I mean, both those guys are, playing in the NFL right now. So Larry Johnson did a great job developing those guys inside. And now he's doing a great job with his guys behind him. You're seeing that start to come into play here now that we're in Game 6.
Yeah, I really like when they threw Caden Curry down into the middle, too, man, with that, of all-out pass rush thing. He's been quite effective in that role, too, right?
His get-off, how
crazy.
I mean, he can get in the backfield, and, he's just like almost a sprinter. Coming out of the blocks there, his first 2 steps, I mean, he's getting a yard or 2 penetration immediately, right when the ball snapped. And if you get on the edge, you get on the hip of an offensive lineman, it makes it awful hard. He's got a knack for doing that. Now, certainly offenses see that and say, hey, we might need to pull and trap this guy. He's getting upfield. Let's go ahead and trap him. But, all those things will happen. He'll have to understand that and know what he's got to do. I think when you look at this Illinois offensive line, they're good coming straight off the ball. I mean, they like to smash mouth a little bit and get movement. When they have to go at angles or zone blocking or pass pro, not as effective. They're a big group. I think besides their center, they're all about 335, and so they're hefty. They can move, but you don't want to just take them on in a phone booth. You want to keep those guys moving and get their feet a little bit offset so you can get it on an edge and make some plays. But
make it a cell phone game.
Exactly. And you got a big back in Fagan. I mean, when's the last time we faced a back that was 255? Derrick Henry of Alabama, I don't think he was 255 at that point. He was a big guy, but not like this. So, and you saw that, when you watched the USC game, how Fagan was able to take over. Now, he did have that key fumble going in to the end zone in that ball game that made things a little bit closer than they needed to. They had to wait for that last second field goal to get the win. They could have had a margin, a little bit higher going into that. But he's a guy that I think you got to account for each and every time. And let's face it, if you're playing Ohio State, what's your strategy? Keep that offense off the field. So ball control, get first downs, take some chances on 4th down, maybe take some chances on special teams to steal possession. And then, see where you are in the 4th quarter. You can make it a 1-score or, 10-point game, have an opportunity to get back. So I think that's, knowing Coach Bielema all these years, I think that's going to be his strategy today is, slow it down a little bit, ball control, huddle up, all those type of things to keep this offense off the field and see if they can wear down the defense and see if they can stop the run. So I think our defensive backs will match up well with their wide receivers out wide. I think we've seen as a group maybe some better, all-around wide receivers. But, Hank Beatty, I think he's a difference maker, so you got to understand where he is. He can get on the edge. And then an experienced quarterback in Altmaier who can, do a little bit of everything. Dual threat, not only running and passing, but we saw him get a receiving touchdown on the Philly special against USC. So, again, they'll pull out all the tricks. They'll try to, make some plays and, find a way to get in the end zone against an experienced offensive group that, running the football is going to be, I think, their key today.
Yeah, and to do that, they'll have to win at the point of attack. And you know about that, Jim, and we'll see. Ohio State has won more battles than not this year. Thanks, my man. Looking forward to your call. Thanks for the time.
No problem, guys. Thank you.
That is the one and only Jim Lachey, presented by Ohio State Army ROTC. Leadership starts here. Visit arotc.osu.edu. All right, when we come back, will they be tested? They haven't been tested lately, but we'll talk about it next. It's the Curtis and Associates Fan Tailgate Show. Remember, they don't get paid unless you get paid right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Hi, Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Coming up, more football talk on The Fan.
That's right, Bob. And just like our hometown team, Worthington Jewelers is all about tradition, family, and winning moments.
Celebrate your victories with us, your hometown jeweler, Worthington Jewelers.
This time of year, it's all or nothing. And Toyota's got all you need during Toyota Truck Month. Now through November 3rd, get 1.75 APR financing or $3,000 customer cash on a powerful new 25 Tundra. Excludes TRD Pro. Or lease a 25 Tundra SR Crew Max for $409 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. with approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Buckeyes, the 2025 football season is here, and that means three things: football, game day, and smooth Jameson whiskey. Whether you're catching the game at home, at your neighborhood bar, or soaking up the team spirit at a tailgate, Jameson Ginger and Lime and Ohio State Athletics are a winning combo. So cheers to making game days even better with the official whiskey of the fans. Jameson, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Taste responsibly.
Jameson Irish Whiskey, product of Ireland. 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2025, imported by John Jameson Import Company, New York, New York.
Country music's biggest selling superstar, Luke Combs, presents My Kind of Saturday Night Tour.
Sounds like my kind of Saturday night.
Luke Combs, live in concert in Columbus, playing at Ohio Stadium, Saturday, April 25th, with special guests Turks Bentley, Ty Myers, Jake Worthington, and Thelma and James. Register now for the pre-sale at lukecombs.com.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
Well, it's halftime, and Dormar is dominating the field as your home's MVP.
Hey, Coach, heating and cooling. We know that's a strong offense, but can the team cover the whole field?
You bet. Dormar's roster is stacked. Plumbing, electrical, duct cleaning.
Anything else, Coach?
Sure. Appliance repair, radon testing, water purification, plus all-star heating and cooling.
Same-day service, free estimates, and friendly pros. Dormar never leaves you on the sidelines.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
And another win for Dormar.
Drive your dream car home today, no matter your credit history. Hey, it's Phil here at Capital Ford of Columbus and Whitehall. We proudly accept all credit types, good, bad, or none. Get pre-approved in minutes and hit the road with confidence. Get your new ride today. Call 614-861-7150 or shop our huge selection online at capitalfordofcolumbus.com. Your perfect ride is credit ready and waiting at Capital Ford of Columbus.
We're back to football talk, but before we kick off, a quick thanks to Bob and the team at Worthington Jewelers.
Thanks, Common Man. Whether it's game day or every day, we're here to help you celebrate life's biggest moments.
Worthington Jewelers, your hometown jeweler.
What he said.
Join Rothman and Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week, but not OJ, because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan. This is the Fan's Game Day Scoreboard.
This game day update is sponsored by Mutual Federal, proudly serving Columbus with personal and business solutions at mutualfederal.com.
And I'm Cole Bartimas. We are making our way closer to noon when the number 1 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes will be kicking off with the number 17 ranked Illinois Fighting Illini from Champaign. It'll be one of the bigger games on what is a pretty solid college football slate for the day. Also going at noon, number 8 Alabama will be in Como taking on number 14 Missouri. And we also have a couple good games in the 3:30 slot. Kurt Cignetti thrived in his first big test of the season against Illinois earlier in the year, but the heat gets cranked up even more as his number 7 Indiana Hoosiers travel all the way out to Eugene to face number 3 Oregon. All the while, number 6 Oklahoma will be playing Texas in the Cotton Bowl. The spread is almost even in that game, so it should be very competitive. And a few good ones in the evening slot. Florida is at number 5 Texas A&M. Number 10 Georgia is at Auburn, and number 15 USC will be in Los Angeles taking on USC.
This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Curtis & Associates and Mountain Dew.
Your forever flagship home of Ohio State Athletics. The Fan.
All right, inching closer. We are setting up shop at Hollywood Casino Columbus. The itching and the burning.
You know, you can hear there's a voice coming out of that high limit room.
Yeah.
You can hear it right now. It's Biddle.
It's calling his name.
Biddle.
Yeah, I wish. I think it's the $15 blackjack tables that are more my
Ballywick.
my pay grade. Yeah.
You got to think big, my man.
Yes.
Well, I see the $25 tables. That's true.
Think big, spend big, or go home.
I see the $25 tables. I'm like, well, when are they going to open up the $15 tables?
Well, there's a decent crowd. There's a decent crowd in here for this early on a Saturday morning. I mean, in my opinion.
Yes, even walking in here earlier, there was a lot of people.
It's never too early to win. I think that's the slogan here. This is the Toyota Fan Tailgate Show presented by Mountain Dew. Anthony Rothman, Dave Biddle, and Tim May. So the Associated Press is telling us that Illinois is the 17th best team in the country. Do we believe it?
Yes, I definitely think so. I think that they were, because Indiana is a very good team. So I think Indiana proved that game spiraled out of control. So I agree with Ryan Day. You got to an extent, you got to throw that out. But I think that did show us that Illinois is not a top 10 team.
Correct.
I definitely think that they are ranked right where they should be. They're a good team. I think they're better than what they were last year, and they were a top 20 team at the end of last year. They were 9-4 last year. They won their bowl game against a good South Carolina team. They're a better team this year. Altmaier's a better quarterback, and.
See, I would disagree. I don't think they're as good defensively this year as they were last year.
I agree with that.
I think that's a big difference,
and especially with them being banged up.
Because they could not get a grip. They could not get a grip on Indiana in that game. I mean, it spiraled out of control. But they were snookered as much as and bamboozled as much as just outplayed. I mean, I was surprised by that. I don't know about you, because Bielema has always had pretty decent defenses. Well, I'm not going to say he had great defenses at Arkansas.
Yeah,
but
when he's been in the Big Ten.
Yeah, when he's been in the Big Ten, and I just thought that that really exposed them. And in the last two games, they've given up combined almost 60 points or whatever it is, 59 or 60 to USC and Purdue back to back. So I'm really curious about their defense going into today. That's the matchup that they've got to figure out a way to at least come close to winning.
I agree with that. They're not as good defensively as they were last year, but I think they're better offensively.
Yeah, I think they're good offensively. I will agree with that.
They had no running game.
Right.
That's the problem. They don't have anything to play complementary football.
The opposite of a Wisconsin Bielema team. Yeah.
They just don't. They don't have an ounce of a running game. They didn't have that night in Indiana, that's for sure.
Oh, no.
And that script then lended itself to not running the ball.
Right.
A block punt, goes for a touchdown, and you get a targeting call early in the game. You're already depleted.
Right.
Your front seven it disappeared. And so
everything that could go wrong went wrong for them in that game, for sure.
So that's why they couldn't stay within 50 points.
I do think their two running backs are decent players. I mean, Valentine, as you mentioned earlier, he had his coming out party. I mean, average yards per carry last week weren't that good as Purdue, 4.3 yards per carry. But he did have 95 yards and a touchdown previous week, 7.4 yards per carry
8
against
carries,
USC. So Valentine, and I think they complement each other pretty well. With Fagan being 6'3", Valentine being 5'11", 190. You have some big boys on that offensive line. You look at that offensive line, they got a couple 335-pounders, another 325-pounders. So
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
Our clients deserve for us to care, and they deserve to feel serviced. They have questions, and they deserve answers. We're counselors first because I'm not selling them anything. I'm trying to teach clients how to protect themselves. At Curtis & Associates, we're personal injury attorneys. We've helped and continue to help hundreds and hundreds of clients every year. That's important to us. If you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault, call now. 614-GOT-HURT. That's 614-GOT-HURT. Curtis & Associates. Attorneys who care.
You are a very important person. You show up, put in the work, and bring your best to each and every day. It isn't always glamorous or easy, but it's worth it because you're building a life for yourself and those you love. That means a lot, and so do you. When you open an account at Park National Bank, you get more than you might expect. Your own personal banker and the VIP treatment you deserve. Park National Bank, where you mean more. Member FDIC.
Did you know Byers Airport Subaru is the oldest Subaru retailer in the entire country? And just like a veteran quarterback, we've been delivering winning drives for generations, right here by the airport. Right now, trade in your car for a new 2025 Subaru Outback for 0% for up to 36 months. Kick off your next adventure at columbussubaru.com. Subject to credit approval. Financing offer term up to 36 months on 2025 Subaru Outback. Cannot be combined with any other incentive. See dealer for details. Offer ends 10/31/25.
Round here, it's all or nothing. And Toyota's got more all-wheel drive choices than anybody. Now through November 3rd, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Corolla gas models. Excludes GR and Corolla Cross. Or lease a gas-powered 26 Corolla LE for $209 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Your car needs a new battery. That'll be $19,000.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a second opinion.
You wouldn't accept that quote, so why accept this one from that other company?
$19,000 for a new sewer line.
I'm going to call the waterworks instead.
Facing an expensive sewer repair? If another company's quote is way more than expected, call the Waterworks for a second opinion. We have the most experienced drain techs in Central Ohio. Call 614-232-2222.
Other stations have crappy ratings and they wonder why no one listens. So instead of investing money in local talent, they fire people and plug in AI voices. Gee, real entertainment. Well, all of our dummies are real, damn it. The Fan, Ohio's real human destination. Enjoy all the football this weekend, but remember to join us for Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. Your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Round here, it's all or nothing. And Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else. Like the best-selling Toyota Camry. Now through November 3rd, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Camrys. Or lease a new 26 Camry LE for $279 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
What's better than cheering the Buckeyes on to victory? Wearing our exclusive collection of OSU jewelry as you watch. Hi, this is Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. We're an officially licensed jeweler of The Ohio State University, and we've created beautiful Buckeye jewelry that will last a lifetime. From Blocko earrings to Diamond Script Ohio necklaces, we've got luxury Buckeye gifts starting at $99. No matter where you're watching, show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey Columbus, it's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. It's football season, and just like on the field, success starts with the right game plan and the right team. That's why I'm proud to team up with Monogram Homes. They're the true custom home builder, bringing precision, creativity, and attention to every detail, just like we do on Saturdays. If you're ready to build, don't settle for standard. Go custom. Go Monogram. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
Taking out the trash. Hey Columbus, this is Zach Bourne. And Jacoby Bourne. When it comes to waste service, you want a team that knows how to deliver under pressure, just like Saturdays in the fall. At Bourne Brothers Waste Services, our team is built on toughness, teamwork, and consistent execution. We're the most reliable and customer service-focused waste company in Central Ohio. Whether it is recycling, trash, construction waste, roll-off containers, front loads, or compactors, we have it handled. Call now or visit bournebrothers.com and let us tackle your waste needs. Taking out the trash.
That was one hell of a game, huh? Start ringing that victory bell. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Curtis and Associates and Mountain Dew.
Your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan.
All right, apologies for the technical difficulties. It's kind of like one of those football games where, you want to change momentum. The other team's losing, so their fan side decides to streak. We got to do something to change the momentum. I think maybe there's a little too much winning going on, and we had to change the momentum a little bit.
Yeah, it's like in basketball. Sometimes you get that intentional technical foul. That's
right.
That's exactly what that was.
The band is on the field.
Yeah, so we appreciate you guys hanging with us there. Listen, we left off in asking ourselves, is Ohio State going to be tested? And then we tried to parlay that into what could Illinois do to make them test Ohio State. And part of us was saying, could they finally lean into a running game that was non-existent that night in Indiana? A lot of that was game script, but a lot of it is knowing that Fegan isn't quick. He's a force. He's blunt force trauma. He punishes defenders that are within his size. He's a little too slow coming out of the backfield. He doesn't hit the holes with any speed. So if you go low on him, the big man usually falls, and that's what's been happening lately. And I gave you guys the stats. Their running backs, their two running backs combined 11 carries for 29 yards against Indiana. Their longest carry by a running back was 6 yards. That puts a lot of pressure on Luke Altmaier.
Texas wanted to run the ball against Ohio State, couldn't get it done. Nobody's been able to run the ball against Ohio State with in a consistent fashion. Agreed. This is a really solid defense. I know it's like saying the sun is hot based on the stats, and then so I keep going back to this. I mean, really, Illinois' shot today is to throw the hell out of the ball, in my opinion.
Yeah, they have to run it a little bit, but yeah, I mean, you're not going to just like line up and run the ball against this Ohio State defense, and it's hard to throw it. This is the best defense in the country, in my opinion.
Yep.
And I think Matt Patricia was an upgrade over Jim Knowles. I know it's easy to say that after Penn State gave up 42 points to hapless UCLA, but I felt that way even before then, and Knowles did a good job here. There's no doubt about it here at the casino. No, here at Ohio State is what I'm talking about. I mean, they won the national championship last time I checked, and they had the #1 defense in the country, but it took really to the second half of year 3 for everything to click. Matt Patricia has this defense clicking right away, and they had only 3 returning starters. And, guys, I was bullish on a lot of these first-year starters. Caden McDonald was really good last year coming off the bench.
Yep.
Caden Curry, all these guys, Arvell Reese, Jalen McClain, Jermaine Matthews.
Kenyatta.
Dare I say, all of them are playing even better than I expected. I expected all of them to play well. I mean, look what Jalen McClain's doing, for example. I mean, I don't see a huge drop-off from Lathan Ransom to McClain, and Lathan Ransom had a great year last year. Arvell Reese is an upgrade over Cody Simon, and Cody Simon had a phenomenal year last year. No one would say that he's better than Arvell Reese, though. And Caden McDonald, he just wrecks the line of scrimmage, man. I'm just so impressed with this defense.
Yeah, I mean, obviously all these guys played a lot last year. Almost everybody you named, except Jalen McClain maybe, and he played considerable. But the bottom line is I've equated this to Jim Knowles did lay the groundwork for a very solid defense. Now Matt Patricia has come in, and it's kind of like putting the sprinkles on the ice cream is the way I look at it. And, boy, just the little things they do before the snap are just big time, in my opinion. The way they just bamboozle quarterbacks with the changes or not changing. Now you expect them to change and then they don't. That's even worse because a lot of offenses now are having trouble just figuring out what's going on with the Ohio State defense, and that's led by a veteran, as good a safety as ever played at Ohio State. I mean, there are all kinds of ways to rank them. But this guy, Caleb Downs, has just taken it to another level in terms of getting the team in the right positions, et cetera, and then guys falling up and making plays. But yeah, I mean, Matt Patricia has been, I'm not going to call it an upgrade. He's been a more like you've moved from one nice suite to the other in a hotel, and he has brought something different. But it accents what was laid, the groundwork that was laid before him.
And to that point, I think it definitely helps that the entire rest of the defensive staff is intact.
Yes, that's the main thing.
Matt Guerreri and Tim Walton had a big part of the national championship. Obviously, Larry Johnson's won 2 national titles here at Ohio State. James Laurinaitis is doing a phenomenal job with the linebackers. We've seen a lot of good linebacking tandems at Ohio State, A.J. Hawk and Bobby Carpenter, for example. This might be the best I've seen maybe since Spielman and Pepper Johnson in 1985. I'm not joking.
Wow.
You look at Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese. I pop up mock drafts now. Both of these guys are usually listed as first-round picks now. Arvell Reese is now, a lot of people have him going pretty high now in the draft. And people are like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? He was a first-year starter. Why would he go pro? It's like, well, we've seen it before, at different positions. Marshawn Lattimore, another Glenville guy, redshirted, barely played as a redshirt freshman, then boom, as a third-year sophomore, took off and went pro. Very good career. Malik Hooker's another one, first-year starter as a third-year player, had a great year, one of the best seasons we've seen from an Ohio State safety. Not as good as Caleb Downs. I think enjoy the final year of seeing Arvell Reese playing for the Buckeyes.
By the way, I thought Matt Wilhelm and Robert Reynolds were pretty good, back in the day, back in 2002. And who else played at linebacker that year? C. Grant. I mean,
Wilhelm was awesome that year.
That was as that defense went along, it got better and better as Miami found out. But,
that D-line.
But I'm agreeing with you. And the other thing, this was a stroke, and you call it genius, whatever you want to call it, by Ryan Day, showing how much he has matured as a head coach, bringing in, reaching out, and getting a Matt Patricia, who was not on everybody's list. For whatever reason, he really couldn't get that job in the NFL like he wanted to. This time a year ago, he was angling to try to get back in the NFL, and he was a commentator. But the thing was, Ryan Day made sure he was going to get along. Everybody was going to get along in that room because he didn't want those other coaches leaving either. And I'm talking about Tim Walton, James Laurinaitis, and Larry Johnson, and Matt Guerreri. So I thought it's just showing more and more how Ryan Day's becoming the consummate head coach.
He keeps taking pages out of Nick Saban's book. And if you're going to take a page out of someone's book, how about do it the greatest of all time? Yes, you're seeing it, because what it used to be, even with analysts, he didn't want a lot of analysts. He didn't want too many cooks in the kitchen. Now they have a bunch of analysts. He's doing it exactly what Saban did with coaching rehab. Chip Kelly didn't have a good reputation. He comes in here, did a great job at the offense. Matt Patricia's another example. It's the same thing Saban did. People, you're down on maybe Sark, Bill O'Brien, Lane Kiffin, on and on and on. He would just recycle coordinators.
Oh yeah.
And they wouldn't skip a beat. Whereas usually you say, oh, man, they got 2 new coordinators. They're going to be in trouble. Saban never was. And now he's got a long way to go to get to Saban. I'm not saying that Ryan Day is Nick Saban, but he's got about 5 more or maybe 6 more national titles to go. But what I'm saying is he's definitely taken a page out of Nick Saban's book in many different facets.
Yeah. My favorite thing was when he let Lane Kiffin go after Lane Kiffin, I think, got the Florida Atlantic job, and Sarkisian was a quality control guy or something. Suddenly he's the offensive coordinator.
That's right.
So this is well before everybody could coach like they can now. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and Sark, had gotten fired.
Yeah.
We look at Sark now. It's Sark's always been on good standing.
But he had
not then he wasn't. Yeah,
he
exactly.
had personal challenges that he had to deal with.
And then Saban would, it was like coaching rehab down there. And all of a sudden these guys are like hot commodities again. Yeah. Lane Kiffin's another one.
There was a line trying to get in there to be rehabilitated.
Yeah, that's right. I think Matt Patricia, unfortunately, got it to the head coach level and the pros, and then he was off everyone's radar for that reason.
Right.
Whether or not you got to the top of the mountain and you tumbled off, and now it's, where are you going to start again? Well, it made sense to start him back in his first love and back into his lane of being a defense coordinator.
Well, no, but remember he went back to New England with what he called plays.
That was
on
so
offense.
weird.
That was the strangest thing ever.
Yeah, all of a sudden he's the offensive coordinator.
And people, Belichick's gone.
And people did, I think, and it's easy to say this now, but I did say it at the time when he was hired, that people were paying too much attention to the bad job he did, head coach of the Detroit Lions. I mean, we can talk about head coaches in college that are legends that were not good NFL coaches. Nick Saban. And Saban wasn't a disaster, but he wasn't a good NFL head coach. Urban Meyer didn't go well.
No.
One of the best college head coaches. Steve Spurrier, 2 national titles, terrible NFL coach.
Holtz.
And those guys were head coaches in college.
Yeah.
Patricia wasn't coming here as head coach. I was thinking everybody's focused on he didn't do a good job with the Lions as head coach. He's coming here as defensive coordinator. I think he's been an upgrade over Knowles. We'll see. Time will tell.
I texted Ryan immediately and said, this is a great hire. Not a good hire, a great hire when he made it.
So then he knew it was. He
knew. Oh, yeah, because I made it bona fide.
He wasn't sure.
I made it bona fide.
I think he had some trepidation, and then he got that text, and he was like, oh, yeah, baby. We're feeling good about it.
I like anybody who's been in the NFL and comes back now to the college game because they've got so many more tricks going for them than they had before in terms of what they can throw out there, and you're seeing it right now. This is a very intelligent defense. The players are intelligent, and Matt Patricia is taking exploiting that.
They're versatile, and they've got talent, and he's certainly pushing the right buttons. I think your analogy is accurate. We went from a beautiful suite overlooking the pool to now overlooking the ocean.
Yes.
Their both views are very nice.
Breeze is coming in.
And here we go. And the other thing, we can get to this in the next segment as well, but, I think we asked him on the show yesterday about the current MVP of the Buckeyes right now. If you had to just give it out today, like there's an MVP defensively. And listen, Curry's leading the league, leading the team in tackles and sacks. Like, he would be the guy. If you had to do it, he would be the guy. It's not best player. It's MVP would be more like who's having the best season. But I asked him this on the air yesterday, and I'll get your opinion, Dave. Is like, in the beginning of the year, I thought, okay, yeah, I did expect certainly him to make his presence known, but I thought that Bo Atkinson might be holding him off a little more at this point.
For sure. I mean, a lot of fans, like on my podcast, for example, that we do on Bucknuts, were saying coming into the year, I mean, a lot of people were saying Kenyatta Jackson's going to be a starter,
Yep.
and it won't be long till Bo Atkinson takes over for Caden Curry. A lot of people were saying that.
Everybody likes a new guy.
Exactly, and Bo Atkinson's playing well. That was a really good getting him. I'm sure he's thrilled he got off that sinking ship in North Carolina. But, you're right, there was not nearly enough talk about Caden Curry. A lot of people were talking up Kenyatta Jackson. He's been good. Been banged up, but he's been good. And Bo Atkinson's been good. There's even some buzz about Logan George and C.J. Hicks.
Yeah.
Right? No one was talking about Caden Curry. He's the guy that came in right away and played as a true freshman. As Tim was saying, he played a lot on the national championship team last year. I'm not saying I expected him to be this good, but it is interesting looking back over the summer. There was really no hype around Caden Curry.
You and I hosted our own little show one time in the summer when everybody else was on PTO, whatever that is, you guys call that, at the station. And we talked about this, about what I thought Matt
We could
Patricia.
call it well-deserved time off.
Exactly, well-deserved time off. WDO. WDTO.
That's right.
But I digress.
Yeah.
Bottom line is, we talked about this, about the lack of depth in the defensive tackle room, but how Matt Patricia has, even in his career, has found ways to rob Peter to pay Paul. I'm telling you, Caden Curry is his prize student right now on the defensive front. Much like Caleb Downs is a prize guy. I still say Caleb Downs is the MVP of this defense, though, the way he gets everybody lined up, etc. But Caden Curry is that star student.
He is.
Because he has a teacher now. You know how you run into a teacher who all of a sudden discovers, hey, Anthony Rothman, you could be a hell of a radio talent. And
Guys,
he puts you in there.
You remember that guy.
Yes, you do.
I don't, but
The matchups he's getting for Caden Curry are crazy.
You could make a good argument that Caden McDonald is the MVP of this defense. You could make an argument that Arvell Reese is the MVP.
Jalen McClain.
I'm telling you, but it's hard to make an argument against Caleb Downs or Caden Curry. But Caden McDonald, man, if there's a better one-tech defensive tackle in the country, I would love to see him. He just wrecks the line of scrimmage.
Jack and JT played more than twice as many snaps as any other DN, so we thought this would be a big rotation. At least I did. Guys had some strong camps, and you thought. I wanted to point out Curry just because statistically he's off the charts right now for Ohio State. Kickoff forecast brought to you by Sunbelt Rentals. See why the Columbus Builders building Columbus lean on green. Okay, it's going to be beautiful, I'm told. 68 degrees, sunny, light winds, so it should be a wonderful day for football in Champaign. When we come back, we'll get an update from our man TLC in the booth and also the impact of this weekend. We'll lay it out for you next on the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Tailgate Show from Hollywood Casino Columbus, right here on The Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Round here, it's all or nothing. And Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else. Like the best-selling Toyota Camry. Now through November 3rd, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Camrys. Or lease a new 26 Camry LE for $279 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
What's better than cheering the Buckeyes on to victory? Wearing our exclusive collection of OSU jewelry as you watch. Hi, this is Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. We're an officially licensed jeweler of The Ohio State University, and we've created beautiful Buckeye jewelry that will last a lifetime. From Blocko earrings to Diamond Script Ohio necklaces, we've got luxury Buckeye gifts starting at $99. No matter where you're watching, show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey Columbus, it's Lorenzo Styles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. It's football season, and just like on the field, success starts with the right game plan and the right team. That's why I'm proud to team up with Monogram Homes. They're the true custom home builder, bringing precision, creativity, and attention to every detail, just like we do on Saturdays. If you're ready to build, don't settle for standard. Go custom. Go Monogram. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
Taking out the trash.
Hey, Columbus, this is Zach Bourne.
And Jacoby Bourne.
When it comes to waste service, you want a team that knows how to deliver under pressure, just like Saturdays in the fall.
At Bourne Brothers Waste Services, our team is built on toughness, teamwork, and consistent execution.
We're the most reliable and customer service-focused waste company in Central Ohio.
Whether it is recycling, trash, construction waste, roll-off containers, front loads, or compactors, we have it handled.
Call now or visit BourneBrothers.com and let us tackle your waste needs.
Taking out the trash.
Here's a stat that hurts. The average adult waits up to 2 years before getting help for joint or back pain. 2 years of sitting out. 2 years of missing the game. At Ortho Neuro, you don't have to wait. Our orthopedic and spine experts treat every joint issue, often without surgery, and we've got next-day appointments ready. Don't sit on the sidelines another day. Schedule your consult now at orthoneuro.com. Ortho Neuro, for every motion in life.
Millions of fans agree. This Christmas tradition rocks. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, presenting the Ghosts of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. December 23rd, 2 shows, Nationwide Arena. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Trans-Siberian Orchestra. A portion of the proceeds benefits the James and Heather Pick Music Program.
When you're building a nursery school, elementary school, charter school, high school, vocational school, or jiu-jitsu school, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. With the largest rental fleet and most rental locations in Columbus, you can count on us to get you the right equipment at the right price right now. No matter what you got going in or going up. All powered by people. For equipment know-how, support, transport, and training. No wonder the Columbus builders who are building Columbus lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com.
The Ohio State University Army ROTC isn't just a curriculum. It's more than just a path to a degree. For more than 150 years, we have been forging tomorrow's leaders. Here you will find your purpose, your mission, your ROTC family. At Ohio State, you're not just joining Army ROTC. You're stepping into a history of excellence that spans generations. Learn more at arotc.osu.edu. Buckeyes lead the way.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. This is the Fan's Game Day Scoreboard.
This Game Day update is sponsored by Mutual Federal, proudly serving Columbus with personal and business solutions at mutualfederal.com.
And I'm Cole Bartimas. We are making our way closer to noon when the number 1 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes will be kicking off with the number 17 ranked Illinois Fighting Illini from Champaign. It'll be one of the bigger games on what is a pretty solid college football slate for the day. Also going at noon, number 8 Alabama will be in Como taking on number 14 Missouri. And we also have a couple good games in the 3:30 slot. Kurt Cignetti thrived in his first big test of the season against Illinois earlier in the year, but the heat gets cranked up even more as his number 7 Indiana Hoosiers travel all the way out to Eugene to face number 3 Oregon. All the while, number 6 Oklahoma will be playing Texas in the Cotton Bowl. The spread is almost even in that game, so it should be very competitive. And a few good ones in the evening slot. Florida is at number 5 Texas A&M. Number 10 Georgia is at Auburn, and number 15 USC will be in Los Angeles taking on USC.
Bring the energy! It's Game Day, Buckeye fans. You're listening to the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Curtis & Associates and Mountain Dew.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan. It's time for the keys to the game.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
All right, back at Hollywood Casino Columbus, Anthony Rothman, Dave Biddle, and Tim May. Appreciate you guys being along for the ride. And, yeah, we had a little tech difficulty early, a little snap, crackle, and pop.
We had a hitch in our get-along.
In our breakfast this morning, but we're back on the air and feeling good about it. All right, before we get to keys to the game, Ohio State is going to be down a starter today. Give me the details on that.
Yeah, Lorenzo Styles Jr., the starting nickelback, will not play today. They just released the availability report. Also, defensive tackle Edric Houston, who started the first 2 games of the season, also will not play. Good news, Kenyatta Jackson's not listed on the availability report, which means, in theory, he should be available to play, but down Lorenzo Styles Jr., down Edric Houston, so it's going to be interesting. I think what they might do, Tim, I'm curious to get your take on this, is start Jermaine Matthews Jr. at nickel, and Devin Sanchez could make his first start as a Buckeye today. They've got different options. And then at defensive tackle, we're going to see more out of Jarquez Carter today, you'd have to think.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I think we'll see a lot, obviously, of Tywan Maloney. I think Tywan Maloney started the last 2 or 3 games at that spot.
He started the last 3, yep.
And so he's been one of those, like we talked about earlier in the show, before Snap, Crackle, and Pop, that, in fact, this guy, he's one of those guys who's really come on. They needed those guys, man. It's like, that's what I've always said about Ohio State. You know, you look at the guys coming in, the freshmen, you look at the transfer portal guys, but there are always guys bubbling up in this last couple of decades that have been there for a while, stuck around. Tywan Malone, of course, transferred from Ole Miss a couple of years ago and kind of looked like a little bit of a bust last year because they really didn't get enough out of him like you thought they could, but he's really taken the bit this year especially. But, Devin Sanchez, be interesting to see how much time he gets. I mean, clearly they like him. We're agreed.
Definitely.
Aaron Scott, also a guy to keep your eye on in the 2 deep today, possibly playing we'll see how they mix and match because I think they believe that both of their starting corners can play that nickel if they have to. I'm talking about Igbinosin and Jermaine Matthews. Jermaine Matthews played it a lot last year, so that seems like the good switcheroo. And if Illinois comes out throwing the ball like I think they will, those guys are going to play a lot.
Edric was banged up last week. You could see him limping.
Right.
So I was not surprised to see that.
Well, he got banged up in preseason camp, too, remember?
The first day.
Yes.
And people were like, oh, geez.
Hyperextended knee.
Right. People thought it was like a torn ACL. Is he out for the year? And people were thrilled when they learned that it was just a hyperextended knee. But it was the first day of camp, like you said, Tim. And so he's never been right. But like Lorenzo Styles Jr., I don't remember him getting hurt last week, so I wonder if that was something that happened in
practice.
But
you remember the
maybe
previous,
I just missed it.
Well, you remember the previous game, he had to be helped off. He hurt his shoulder.
Yeah,
after the Ohio U, I think it was Ohio U long pass or whatever. I'm trying to remember the.
It was. He lost him on
Ohio
that
University.
pass. Yeah. Tried to track him
right.
down.
As I said, he missed 3 tackles on the same play. But then he got hurt later, and I wasn't making fun of him, but it kind of looked like that. But no, he's vital, man. He's a big part of their defense. I mean, and of course, he's the guy that caught the throwback from Brandon Ennis. As his brother made fun of him for not taking it to the house.
His coverage on that play wasn't as bad as I think people were making it out to be. The bad part was get the guy on the damn ground.
Correct.
And McLean's got him. He's the last line there. He's got him. He cannot overplay that. And by the way, the other problem with it, when you said, which you're accurate on breaking the tackles down the field, I've never seen a guy get stiff-armed for 30 yards.
Right.
And that's part of the whole epidemic of nobody ever going low ever.
Isn't it great to have one big play that you can cut up like this, against the defense? Because otherwise,
that's it. It's the only home run, and that's the key to this game for me. Is that if you don't, I keep saying it. Nobody knows how the game's going to play out, but it feels like the way the Illini offensive line completely failed against Indiana, and the Illinois running backs didn't do them any favors. It's going to be very hard to pound the ball in against Ohio State. You have to sling it in there, and I think that's where it comes from. For me, you cannot give up home runs. That's the way you're going to keep Illinois in this game.
Correct.
And so it does put some onus on the secondary. It puts onus on pressure on getting to Altmaier, and he is a dual threat guy. So it feels to me like that is. Again, and I know it's a big thing for Illinois to be able to think we can come in and swing big and hit 3 home runs against them, but keeping them in the game, that's the way to do it. On the reverse side, it's exactly the same thing. It's that the Illini secondary, the way Julian Sain's throwing the ball, if this is a better weather day to throw the ball, he could dice them up pretty good and then hit them over the top. So
look, Ohio State's got something. I even asked Ryan Day about this earlier in the year. After a game, I think it might have been the Ohio U game, but Ohio State's got something nobody else has. That is Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate. And then if you augment that with a little Brandon Ennis, but nobody's got 2 receivers of that ilk on the same.
No,
right. And that's what this is conference play now. You win the game, and then if you want to establish your running game, you do, but you do whatever it is they're giving you. And Illinois will be giving Ohio State the passing game, whether they do it intentionally or not. has nothing to do with it.
And Max Clare,
I just think
like
there's a
luxury
mismatch
item.
there that's obvious.
Like they're thrilled to have Max Clare. They almost didn't need him, when you think about it. Like they have the best wide receiver in the country in J.J. Smith. They have the best number 2 receiver in the country in Carnell Tate. If there's a better number 3 receiver in the country than Brandon Ennis, I'd be shocked about that. And then
we need proof of that, right?
One of the best tight ends in the country, clearly, and they were already in good shape at tight end.
Yes,
with Kazmarek, with Thurman, with Bennett Christian, and with Roberts. So bringing in Max Clare, that's one of the reasons that Brandon Ennis is not getting as many receptions, I think, as people expected.
Right.
Max Clare is basically a slot receiver.
I told you in saying this, I even complimented him that when you have a quarterback who understands the tight end is your best friend, but you're going places. And a lot of times, like you said, the progression, all of a sudden he's throwing to Max Clare or Will Kazmarek instead of a Brandon Ennis, if you follow my drift there. And that's why I really know Julian Sayin has got this quarterback thing down. He's going to get better as the year goes on. But, boy, you look at this. Dave, you've been covering this team a long time, too. So has Anthony. I've never seen them play 4 tight ends as much as at one time as they have this year. I mean, that's a compliment in all kinds of ways to the depth that they've gotten. But the last 2 years they've gone out and gotten high-quality tight ends to transfer from the portal. And it's kind of stunning, really.
It really is. I mean, they went so long without. It was Ben Hartsock had over 30 receptions in 2003. Then it was all the way until Cade Stover. I remember Ryan Day joking about it at Big Ten Media Days when they had Jeremy Ruckert. His final year, like, he's easily going to get over 30 receptions this year. Ruckert didn't. Finally, Cade Stover did, and that helps. You're not going to get a guy like Max Clare in the portal, the best tight end in the portal, if he thought he was going to come here and never get any receptions. So G. Scott Jr. last year had a decent amount of catches from Ohio State tight end. So
vital.
Yeah, so that's huge, and they're doing a good job in recruiting.
Urban was a real, get the ball in space guy. Paris Campbell, KJ Hill, he was that guy.
Oh, yeah.
His offenses were just a little different.
Yeah.
And so now this seems more traditional, and you got 2 great wideouts, and then you add a really good pass-catching, blocking tight end. I mean, even early against Minnesota, Kazmarek and Searveld, they're just winning at point of attack.
Oh, yeah.
They're just,
What Searveld's doing is amazing, guys. He's never played left tackle before, and he just goes in there, and he hasn't even given up a hurry all year. Forget about a sack. He hasn't given up a hurry.
Right.
He's a third-year sophomore. He's a captain. He played both left guard and right guard last year. Didn't play tackle at all. Then he was supposed to be the starting right tackle. No, we're going to make you the starting left tackle. And he's playing at a high level. I just am so impressed with that young man.
Yeah, and all that happened. Remember, we got to watch the first 3 days of practice. All that happened after that.
Right.
And you're hearing these things of Searveld's at left tackle. You just think, well, they're just giving him some training over there. No. They made the move.
He's been massive. Keys of the Game sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com. Toyota Let's Go Places. We'll come back and do our final check-in with the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels, in Champaign. Like I said, this is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Tailgate Show, and I urge you to visit Toyota.com. Toyota Let's Go Places. We'll come back right here on The Fan.
If you've recently seen a photo of an older Baker Mayfield fresh off a bender, it's just Bo Bishop. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine. Give me a dew. Something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing mountain dew. So give me my good days, give me a dew.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Drive your dream car home today, no matter your credit history. Hey, it's Phil here at Capital Ford of Columbus in Whitehall. We proudly accept all credit types, good, bad, or none. Get pre-approved in minutes and hit the road with confidence. Get your new ride today. Call 614-861-7150 or shop our huge selection online at capitalfordofcolumbus.com. Your perfect ride is credit ready and waiting at Capital Ford of Columbus.
Football season is here, and so is tailgating season. Are you ready? If not, let Columbus Car Audio and Accessories help you get the latest and best accessories for your ride. Upgrade your sound system so everyone around can hear what team you're rooting for. Add mobile video and never miss a game on the road. Add style and privacy with window tint, and avoid scraping ice this winter by adding a remote starter. Choose Columbus Car Audio and Accessories when it comes to customizing your ride. Morse Road near Easton, Main Street in Reynoldsburg, or ColumbusCarAudio.com.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
The kitchen drain has had enough. The toilet's called it quits. The faucet in the master bath, it's throwing childish fits.
In a flash, I'm at your door to win your water war. I battle leaks and clogs and drips until they are no more.
Free service call with your plumbing repair.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Columbus, the Blue Jackets schedule is out. And you can lock in your seats with ticket plans starting at just 11 games. Don't miss a moment of the action. Visit BlueJackets.com.
Relationship benefits at KeyBank reward you for things you were going to do anyway, like using your KeyBank checking account 5 times each month. You could unlock higher interest rates, more cash back, and loan discounts. Now, imagine getting rewarded for other things you were going to do anyway, like high-fiving.
Yes.
Calling your mom.
Hello.
Or petting cute dogs. If only. Learn how simple it is to get benefits when opening a checking account at key.com/relationship. KeyBank opens doors. All credit products subject to credit approval. KeyBank, member FDIC.
It's the Closet Systems Kickoff Sale at Design Solutions by Cooper. They design and manufacture customizable storage built to fit your lifestyle and space. From closets to any space in your home, our systems are made to maximize organization, simplify the morning rush, stay organized during back-to-school season, and add value to your home with expert craftsmanship. Schedule a virtual design consultation or find a dealer near you at DesignSolutionsByCooper.com. Hurry, this is a limited time offer, and your dream closet is just a few clicks away at DesignSolutionsByCooper.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you're a sports card fan like me, you've got to check out Midwest Cards in the Arena District, right outside Nationwide Arena. These guys are true collectors themselves, and they've built a shop that lets you experience card collecting in a whole new way. They've got sealed boxes, packs, single cards, signed memorabilia, and plenty of TVs in their lounge. Yeah, they have a lounge. And don't forget the card bar, where you can open packs while you have an adult beverage. It's awesome. Stop by Midwest Cards today and tell them T-Bone sent you.
Columbus, the Blue Jackets schedule is out. And you can lock in your seats with ticket plans starting at just 11 games. Don't miss a moment of the action. Visit BlueJackets.com.
Common Man and Timmy.
I say neat.
You say neat and lousy.
Lousy?
I don't think I've ever said lousy in my life other than just saying it to you like this.
Lousy's good.
Common Man and Timmy Afternoons on the Fan is sponsored by Hinderer Motorsports.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Get ready for a beautiful weekend as we see plenty of sunshine here across the area. High temperatures in the low 70s here this afternoon with just a few scattered clouds today. We'll see winds out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, mostly clear and cooling down to the mid-40s. For tomorrow and your Sunday, we're tracking more sunshine and a few scattered clouds and highs around 72 degrees. And we'll see the sunshine continue here for Monday and Tuesday with highs in the mid-70s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
During this 10-second promo, Rothman will lose money gambling on something.
People like you come here and blow the family nest egg that built this town.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
Don't it feel good when your crowd behind you? You know what I'm saying?
You're listening to the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Curtis and Associates and Mountain Dew.
Your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
All right, before we permanently send it to Champaign, we'll get a little sneak peek on what's coming up. Our final check-in with Paul Keel, sponsored by Byers Imports. Byers Imports, Hamilton Road by the airport. All right, Paul, what's coming up?
Well, Anthony, as always, we will hear from both head coaches. Ryan Day from Ohio State, comments from Brett Bielema from Illinois.
Tyler Danberg will talk with Ohio State defensive end Bo Atkinson about his transition from North Carolina to Ohio State. We'll hear from cornerbacks coach Tim Walton talking about how well the back end has played. Brian Barnhart, the longtime voice of the Fighting Illini, will give us a scouting report. Butch Moore, president of the Buckeye Boosters, will talk about that organization and what it is they do to assist the Ohio State Athletic Department. And as always, we will have our award-winning, world-famous Illabuck Trophy Italian Festival, Tumble Out of the Tumble In, Ain't Too Proud to Beg, Still Waiting on the Baked ZD, Mongo Loves Candy version of Buckeye Flashback with Hall of Famer Skip Mossick.
Well done, my man. Looking forward to the call. Thanks, Paul.
You're welcome.
Look forward to that every week. All right, so the matchup here that we have for Ohio State and Illinois. It seems like a bad one, certainly, for Illinois, because if you can't play complementary football, if you can't be balanced offensively, you're going to have a tough day against Ohio State. We all think they're going to take their swings. They're going to have some plays. They're going to be mildly aggressive. I don't know how early Illinois will be aggressive. They didn't score their first touchdown against Purdue till the second quarter, but they have the ability to throw the football if they give him time. He's a dual-threat guy. They'll run RPO. The guys have talked about it. They ran a throwback to him on a Philly special for a touchdown. So he's a fifth-year guy. He's a third-year starter. This is not a throwaway quarterback. This is not a redshirt freshman. This is a guy that's been around enough to feel like he's got a shot. They certainly thought they had a shot before the year started. Hank Beatty, we talked about him, 5'10", 185. He's clearly the go-to guy. So 32 catches. The next guy only has 18. But I keep pointing out they've allowed 19 sacks this season. And the Buckeyes are the best defense in the country, especially on third down, where they're the best specific play defense in the Big Ten, and they've limited everybody to 90 yards rushing a game. So
wait, also specific best against the touchdown.
That's right. And so this is a tall task for Illinois. They haven't played them in a long time. They were pointing to this game before the schedule as the game. Now it turns in, as Dave and I have talked about, potentially a trap game because Ohio State is favored by 14.5 points on the road. But they are the number one team in the nation. But rarely would a team in the top 20 be getting 14.5 at home. But they are today. That probably tells you a lot about what Vegas thinks of Ohio State.
Yeah, there seemed to be more buzz about the Washington game. We're coming into the year. I think this one was circled as the next test after Texas was going to be Illinois.
Yes.
And then there was a lot of talk Washington could be tight, and it was early. Ohio State pulled away, won that game 24-6. I do think Ohio State, I have this game 35-9 Ohio State, okay? And the point spread's interesting. This point spread did not move. It started at 14.5, and it is stuck there. Washington moved a lot. Minnesota moved a little bit. The Ohio University game, I remember, moved it quite a bit. But it's stuck at 14.5. I like Ohio State to cover that spread. I might be going a little low on my point total, but I'm not going to pick an opponent to score double digits against this defense until somebody does it. Hence me going with 9 for Illinois. So I have 35-9 Buckeyes. The over-under is 52.5, so I'm pretty far under that with 44 points. But, with it not being windy there for maybe the first time that I can remember, that definitely helps Ohio State up. And Altmaier can throw it as well, so maybe it helps both teams out.
Exactly. I mean, there's no reason to keep any arrows in the scabbard in this game because both teams are capable of throwing the ball. I'm with you, Dave. I'm torn on what that final score for Illinois will be because the number that keeps clicking in my head right now for Ohio State is 41. I mean, I think that's a good number based on the other offenses, and I've seen their success against Illinois. That might even be conservative on my part. But I'm just trying to see if somebody can pick the lock of this Ohio State defense, and for the most part, they have not been able to do that. So, but I'm thinking they might be something like 41-10 is the score I've got in my head.
Yeah, you know what? It's interesting. I've been
Ohio
talking
State.
this game about not being a trap game, but being a respect game. I think this is one of those games that I'm leaning a little more into the intangible that Illinois has everything to play for. It's a season saver. That doesn't mean you're going to do it.
Right.
It just means your mind's in the right place. They've kind of righted the ship a little bit after the Indiana embarrassment. They're getting a lot of guys back except for Xavier Scott. I think you guys raised the right question. How many can they actually score against this defense? Because this front and the rest of the defense keeps offenses out of rhythm. They gave up the home run ball to OU. They probably could have given up one to Minnesota early, but they didn't.
Right.
And so I feel like at home, Illinois, big-time quarterback, I feel like I hate to say it, but I feel like they're going to get a touchdown in the first half, and they're probably going to get one in the second half somewhere. And so, I have it 38-14. Doesn't mean it's going to be close. Just means I see Illinois somehow throwing the ball in at some point today, maybe a couple times. I don't know. Or maybe it's a backdoor touchdown at the end when Ohio State is just bleeding the clock and it's soft, and who knows, and maybe they give up one. And the other part is I actually bet our PD Fish that Illinois would score at least 10 points. He mental hedged it with me because he's in a line.
Psychology.
He did. He right away. So I jumped in and said, okay, I think you guys get 10 today. And so we got a dinner on the line for that. So
is it the I in Fish? Does that stand for Illinois?
I think it does.
I did not know that.
Yes. He's certainly an Illini through and through. He was wearing a 30-year-old fleece the other day. He wouldn't tell me exactly when or where he got it.
When he was in college,
that
probably.
old.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Like.
Yeah, he got me over the summer. So I said one of my favorite bets over the summer was Illinois over 7.5 wins. That eventually went up to 8.5.
Wow.
I'm liking it better at 7.5. If Fish would come to me and say, stop talking about that. Stop saying that, because every time we have high expectations, we don't do well at Illinois. Yeah. We have to sneak up on people. So
but here's the thing.
Like, hey, it's a gambling show, Fish.
Against Ohio State, you got to throw the ball, man. I mean, and if you throw the ball enough, eventually you got to figure some of them are going to stick, right? So
that's all.
Ohio State, though, because Ohio State flipped the script on Altmaier, who's thrown no interceptions. This is an Ohio State team that hasn't gotten very many turnovers, and so I would be keeping my eye on that if something that could go flip what you've seen so far.
This is the Curtis and Associates Fan Tailgate Show. Remember, they don't get paid unless you get paid. All right, so this is one of those games where I would be looking forward to seeing if Ohio State can get it going early in the first half. The Toyota Fan Tailgate Show presented by Mountain Dew. You're at
35-9 Ohio State.
Tim?
I'm at 41-10 Ohio State.
All right, I'm at 38-14 Ohio State. We all have them covering and moving forward. For Josh and Jen, thanks for keeping us going today. It was a big-time hurdle to get over. TLC back in the studio. I'm Anthony Rothman. For my boy Biddle and Tim May, enjoy Buckeye football right here on The Fan.
Are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
Hi, Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Coming up, more football talk on The Fan.
That's right, Bob. And just like our hometown team, Worthington Jewelers is all about tradition, family, and winning moments.
Celebrate your victories with us, your hometown jeweler, Worthington Jewelers.
Around here, it's all or nothing. And nobody has more all-wheel drive choices than Toyota. Now through November 3rd, get 4.75 APR financing on a new 25 RAV4 or 5.75 on RAV4 Hybrid, excludes plug-ins, or lease a gas-powered RAV4 LE for $309 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Buckeyes, the 2025 football season is here, and that means three things: football, game day, and smooth Jameson whiskey. Whether you're catching the game at home, at your neighborhood bar, or soaking up the team spirit at a tailgate, Jameson Ginger and Lime and Ohio State Athletics are a winning combo. So cheers to making game days even better with the official whiskey of the fans. Jameson, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Taste responsibly.
Jameson Irish Whiskey, product of Ireland, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2025, imported by John Jameson Import Company, New York, New York.
At Kemba Financial Credit Union, we care about you. Consumers like you say they don't want monthly fees for checking, and we listen. Introducing hassle-free checking with no monthly service fee. Use it as an easy place to deposit and transfer your money, along with your everyday banking needs. Plus, Kemba's expansive digital banking services make it easy for you to bank how you want. At Kemba, we're always thinking of ways to put you and your finances first. Visit Kemba.org, federally insured by NCUA. Restrictions apply.
Country music's biggest selling superstar, Luke Combs, presents My Kind of Saturday Night Tour.
Sounds like my kind of Saturday night.
Luke Combs, Live in concert in Columbus, playing at Ohio Stadium, Saturday, April 25th. With special guests, Dirk Bentley, Ty Myers, Jake Worthington, and Thelma and James. Register now for the pre-sale at lukecombs.com.
Hey Columbus, it's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. Football runs deep in my family. My dad played here, and my brother and I are proud to carry on that tradition. At Monogram Homes, family matters too. They treat every homeowner like one of their own, building with care, precision, and pride. Monogram doesn't just build houses, they build homes, crafted just for you. So whether you're starting your first home or designing your dream space, Monogram Homes has got your back every step of the way. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
Taking out the trash. Hey, Columbus, this is Zach Bourne. And Jacoby Bourne. When it comes to waste service, you want a team that knows how to deliver under pressure, just like Saturdays in the fall.
At Bourne Brothers Waste Services, our team is built on toughness, teamwork, and consistent execution.
We're the most reliable and customer service-focused waste company in Central Ohio.
Whether it is recycling, trash, construction waste, roll-off containers, front loads, or compactors, we have it handled.
Call now or visit bournebrothers.com and let us tackle your waste needs.
Taking out the trash.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
We're back to football talk, but before we kick off, a quick thanks to Bob and the team at Worthington Jewelers.
Thanks, Common Man. Whether it's game day or every day, we're here to help you celebrate life's biggest moments.
Worthington Jewelers, your hometown jeweler.
What he said.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus, The Fan. From Learfield, this is the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show. Brought to you statewide by AEP Energy and by Encova Insurance on the Ohio State Sports Network. Presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics. And brought to you locally by State Farm, your Central Ohio Toyota dealers, and by the Diamond Cellar. On your home of the Buckeyes, live and local weekdays beginning at 6 a.m. with T-Bone and Tybus on the Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now. Along with Tyler Danberg, Skip Mossick, and former OSU All-American Jim Lachey, here's the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels.
Today, Ohio State on the road for the second time this season. The top-ranked and undefeated Buckeyes playing number 17 Illinois here in Champaign, a place the Buckeyes haven't been to in a decade. But Jim, Ohio State going away from home, hoping the success can be much like it was the first time they went away from home.
Yeah, they had great success at Washington, and that's going to have to continue today. You know, I think if you go back 2 months ago and you talked about the Illinois game, a lot of people were like, hey, had this one circled. This was going to be a tough challenge, and I don't think things have changed. You know, certainly people look at that Indiana game. Coach talked about that all week. They throw that game out. We're not going to put a lot of focus on that. This is a quality football team. He actually said this week on our coach's show on Thursday that he thought this was a top 10 type team, so they're going to need a great effort. And, you know, you look at the offense. Julian Sain coming off one of his best games. Carnell Tate was electric last week, what he was able to accomplish out there. And, of course, there's always Jeremiah Smith out there drawing a lot of coverage to open up some guys. On defense, Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese, both of them played great last week inside. You saw Caden McDonald do some damage against the offensive line for Minnesota. That's going to have to continue. And then Caleb Downs always roaming around back there. So I think in this game, it's finding a way defensively. We got to create some turnovers. We haven't done a lot of that. Just 2 interceptions on the year. And then defensively, you got to make sure you stop the run. Offense, you got to make sure you take care of that football and find ways to finish drives in the end zone.
From down on the field, Tyler Danberg, it's anticipated with a sellout crowd and all of that, it could be another loud atmosphere for the Buckeyes.
That there is, Paul. There's a lot of anticipation, not just for this weekend, but for this season overall. Just the first time in over 20 years that the Geese Memorial Stadium season tickets have sold out going into the year. And with the student section, the Buckeye student section dates back to 1910. A lot of historic roots in that north end zone to our left. The stadium is a really intimate one. Now, it's big. It can seat over 60,000, but it is intimate. It feels like a bandbox, so expect it to be pretty loud.
Be sure to check out the Buckeye Game Day Concert Series presented by the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer before every Ohio State home game this season outside of St. John Arena in Buckeye Fan Fest. Each week features a different artist or band performing 2 hours before kickoff. Get on board and book your cruise today. Visit BuckeyeCruise.com. Go Bucks and beat cancer. Coming up next, Skip Ossick will have today's Buckeye Football Flashback presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center as our AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield. Hosting a passionate crew of Buckeye fans? Revamp your rec room for an epic watch party with power reclining sofas, massaging recliners, entertainment centers, and coffee tables from Bob's. They even have sofas with drop-down tables for snacks and bevs. Shop in-store or online to score big on an incredible game day setup at Bob's everyday low prices. Bob's Discount Furniture, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
As America's largest custom home builder, Schumacher Homes believes a top-quality home should be affordable for everyone in the Buckeye State. We work with the leading architects to bring you the latest in design, and then you have the ability to make changes. Not just selecting finishes, but moving walls, adding rooms, literally customizing anything from the ground up. It's a misconception that custom homes have to be expensive. We work within your budget to build an amazing home on your land. Visit SchumacherHomes.com or any of our 9 Ohio locations.
Always and forever, your home of the Buckeyes. Home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. This is the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show on the Ohio State Sports Network. Presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Ohio State and Illinois coming up at noon. Time for today's Buckeye Football Flashback presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center. As we take you back 32 years to October 9th, 1993. 4-0 Ohio State was here in Champaign to take on 1-3 Illinois. And on a cold and extremely windy day at Memorial Stadium with winds gusting up to 40 miles an hour, things got going Ohio State's way on the very first play of the game.
Short drop, looks to pass on first down, now scrambles, loses control of the ball, it's loose, and Ohio State has recovered. Jason Simmons right around the Illinois 14-yard line. A huge turnover, and boy, that was unforced. Johnny Johnson just had the ball slip right off his hand.
And following the turnover, it took only 3 plays for the Buckeyes to cash in.
Going on third down, short drop, has time, throws end zone, touchdown Ohio State. Joey Galloway is 7th touchdown of the season.
And with the strong wind at their back in the opening quarter, Ohio State took advantage on their next possession with a long field goal attempt.
Williams has not missed this year. Good spot. The kick is up. It is approaching the end zone. It is right through the goalpost, a 52-yard field goal for Tim Williams. With the win, he split the uprights.
Trailing 10-0, the Illini would add a field goal to cut Ohio State's lead to 10-3. But late in the half, the Buckeyes would come up big on special teams.
Larson in there to punt again. He's pressured, and the ball's knocked away from him. Recovered in the end zone for a touchdown by Ohio State. The Buckeyes came swarming in on Brett Larson. He had trouble handling the snap. And Ohio State recovers that loose football in the end zone for a touchdown. Tito Paul was the first man in there. He's always been a guy who's been active on the kick teams, and Tim Patillo recovered that loose ball for the score.
With Ohio State leading 17-3 going into the second half, the Illini had the strong wind at their backs in the third quarter, but the Buckeye defense, while bending, did not break and held Illinois to 3 field goals, making the score 17-12 Ohio State heading into the fourth. But that wind, which was a steady 30 miles an hour throughout the day, picked up even more and caused havoc in every aspect of the game and made even punting the ball an adventure.
Fred Larson will be in the punt. Good snap, no pressure, and a terrible punt by Larson. This ball is going to bounce at the 40-yard line, and then it's going to be down right there. I want to say that's going to be a punt for no yards. That might have been the worst punt I've ever seen that wasn't blocked.
Ohio State capitalized on the field position to attempt a field goal to hopefully put things out of reach.
Will be kicking with the win. He's already hit from 52 yards out today. He has not missed a field goal try this season. 5 for 5. Good snap, good spot. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So Tim Williams connects.
And that's how it would end. Ohio State 20, Illinois 12, October 9th, 1993. Today's flashback was presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State athletics. Coming up, we'll run down today's college football schedule as the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
We have acres of brand new Chevys, Chryslers, Jeeps, Dodges, and Ram vehicles, as well as used cars and trucks that you're looking for at the Jeff Weiler Columbus Auto Mall in Canal Winchester. And if we don't have what you're looking for, we can find it at one of our 23 other locations. So come shop the lot or view over 2,000 cars right at your fingertips at JeffWeilerColumbusAutomall.com. Plus, use Weiler Direct to see monthly payments, value your trade, and get pre-approved. Rooted in family, driven by you.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Tailgate like a champ with Giant Eagle. What you eat on game day is as important as what happens on the field. Whether you're watching from the stadium or from home, Giant Eagle has everything you need to get ready for kickoff. Get prepared foods in a flash. Grab enough snacks and drinks to feed an entire team, and stack your cart with fresh groceries like grill-ready meat and seafood. Giant Eagle, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeye football lives here. The Fan.
Buckeye fans say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings with a fixed price plan with AEP Energy. Visit AEPenergy.com to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Plenty to come as we continue getting you ready for Ohio State and Illinois. We'll check your college football schedule early today on this Saturday as our AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Around here, it's all or nothing. And Toyota's got more all-wheel drive choices than anybody. Now through November 3rd, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Corolla gas models. Excludes GR and Corolla Cross. Or lease a gas-powered 26 Corolla LE for $209 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Fan. Ohio sports destination. This is the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show on the Ohio State Sports Network. Presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Back in Champaign, Skip Mossick with a check of the games we'll be tracking for you throughout the day today. We'll start you in the Big Ten. One other game kicks at noon. UCLA is at Michigan State. Spartan coach Jonathan Smith, like many, was impressed with the Bruins' upset of Penn State a week ago.
Galvanized, new energy, aggressive. I'm talking about UCLA now. Attacking, really in all three phases. They come out, first open drive, go punch the thing in, then kick off with a big gamble, steal a possession right there of like they were a brand new team.
3:30 in Eugene. Third-ranked Oregon plays host to number 7 Indiana. Hoosier coach Kurt Signetti on Ducks quarterback Dante Moore.
Well, he's playing really well. He's another guy, got big-time arm talent, quick release, accurate. He's very athletic, very fluid, can run, extend plays, change of direction. He's getting the ball out on time, rhythm, and he snaps it off really quick. He's really impressive on tape.
The other 3:30 games in conference. Penn State plays host to Northwestern. Nebraska is at Maryland. Tonight, Wisconsin hosts Iowa. Michigan at Southern Cal. Purdue travels to Minnesota. Just two other early games in the top 25. Alabama is at Missouri. Pittsburgh travels to Florida State. Early games around Ohio today, also kicking at noon. Cincinnati plays host to UCF. Miami, Ohio is at Akron. Bowling Green plays host to Toledo. 2:30, UMass is at Kent State. Much more to come as we continue getting you ready for Ohio State and Illinois as our AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
It's football season in the Buckeye State, and if your game plan for this season includes buying or selling a home, Howard Hanna has the answer, delivering a winning strategy for breaking down the game of real estate. Make your next move with confidence with exclusive programs just right for you. Get in the game with the #1 real estate brokerage in Ohio and let them help you with your next move. Howard Hanna is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Visit howardhanna.com/GoBucks today.
At Patron Tequila, we do things the right way. We use only the highest quality natural ingredients from start to finish. No sweeteners, no secrets, no compromises. You know, for the perfect gathering, all you need is your friends, Patron in your favorite version, Reposado, Cristalino, or Silver, and time to enjoy it. Patron Tequila, 100% Blue Weber agave. The perfect way to enjoy Patron is responsibly. Handcrafted in Mexico, imported by the Patron Spirits Company, Coral Gables, Florida. Tequila, 40% alcohol by volume. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
True North convenience stores are your coffee and fountain champions. Fuel up your game day with True Rewards. Buy 6 True Brew coffees or True Oasis fountain drinks and get your 7th free. Whether you're heading to a game or watching from home, grab a True Brew coffee or an ice-cold True Oasis fountain drink to keep you going all 4 quarters. Find True Rewards in your app store or visit TrueNorthStores.com to get started. True North convenience stores. Fast, friendly, clean. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Fans, you can win a catered party for 20 during a Buckeye football away game this season. Just like today, somebody was a big winner. Plus a behind-the-scenes tour of Ohio Stadium for 10 with the Giant Eagle Tailgates and Tour Sweepstakes presented by Pringles, Cheez-It, and Coca-Cola. Enter today at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/tailgates for your chance to win. And welcome back to Champaign. Ohio State and Illinois coming up, kick just past 12 noon. Well, Ohio State defensive lineman Bo Atkinson transferred in from North Carolina this past offseason and has become a key piece to the Ohio State defense. Earlier this week, Atkinson caught up with our Tyler Danberg.
Bo, what is the energy around this defense like right now?
I think everybody on the defense just has that hunger to not be satisfied with like where we've been and just trying to get better each and every day. And I don't know if y'all saw practice or not, but I think that each day we come out with that mentality.
What does an Ohio State practice feel like in 2025?
It's definitely hard. A lot of competitive stuff, but I think that's what makes everybody so much better.
If you were to watch film in your final year at UNC and the film is on your first year here at Ohio State, what do you think would surprise you?
I think that I'd feel like my technique has gotten better. I think I've gotten better at using my hands, and I think that would probably pop off a film for me more.
What tool have you maybe unlocked? What tool have you refined as a pass rusher here?
I mean, I think the hands is a big thing, and then also just trying to work on my pad level. I think a lot of times I would get too high sometimes before, but trying to work on that. And I'm still a huge work in progress, just like everybody else is. But yeah, definitely.
People talk a lot about lowering the pad level, but what good does it do when you do lower the pad level?
I mean, especially like when you're in the run game, it just helps with leverage because obviously we're going against guys who are 100 pounds more than us or around that, and so we got to use whatever advantage we can.
People know what you are on the field, but off the field, what is Bo Atkinson like?
I like to do a lot of like what I consider fun is probably different than some people. Like I'm very outdoorsy, like anything like that, like game nights, anything competitive, like so basically anything along those lines.
Both your parents were college athletes. Dad played football at UConn. Mom played volleyball at UConn. So how much of that competitive spirit do you get from them?
A lot. I mean, like, and then I also have 3 siblings, so we'd always be playing. Like, I would never sit inside. Like, right when I get home from school, we'd go outside, play basketball or whatever, something like that. So, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it stems from my family.
Your mom is all over the UConn volleyball record books. How much of her athleticism have you gotten?
I think a good bit. I don't know. I didn't know she was all over it, but yeah. Yeah, I think she's definitely been very influential for me.
Talking to Ohio State defensive end Bo Atkinson. Bo, what have you learned about yourself? Maybe not just as a player, but as a person this year?
Yeah, I think one big